I guess one guy that works for Wendy's one time said a mean thing about transgendered people. Uh, yeah. So like one of their dudes like quit Twitter over it. All sorts of other stuff happened. It was crazy. But then they went and donated all the money that was generated by the event to basically a charity that's like diametrically opposed to Wendy's. And they're like, now do you love us again, Twitter? And Twitter's like, for now. And I was just like, ugh, it's so disgusting. Like, ugh, I don't know. These people are just trying to make some money and be successful, you know? Like, ugh, ugh, God. Their good alignment hurts. Their good alignment hurts my heart. Like, I'll run a 25-hour marathon to raise money for children's hospitals, but you damn straight there's going to be like three dudes having sex with a minotaur woman at the in that adventure. So there's no way that I could just run a straight goodly game. It's just not. It's not in my programming. So to see how good these people are, that they're like, yeah, we're going to take all this money and we're going to donate it to the goodest charity we could find. And you take that, corporate America. It's like, how could you do this? I don't know. It was a mess. But anyways, I don't care what Twitter says. I'd still love to run a Feast of Legend game. So I am on the back burner working on that for sometime in November. So if you know anybody that is interested in that, it'll be a charity based game. So whatever dues are required for the game will go directly towards Extra Life. I don't know if we'll do a 1, 2, or 3-parter. I kind of want to take it all the way to killing Ronald McDonald. I mean, honestly, if you're gonna do it, I feel like you should do it all the way. But
Wait,
we'll see.
spoilers. I didn't know Ronald McDonald's in a game crash. Gosh.
sorry, the Frost Jester. Yeah. Also, I do like the idea that there's a powerful demon who is Jack from the Box. Yeah, I guess somebody found like a Pandora style box and like a mysterious entity came out and his name is Jack and he wears a horrific mask so that you can't see his face. I don't know, man. To me, it's like parody gold. That whole setting is just wow. I was I was into it. I was living for it. But I also read those Xanth novels when I was a kid, so that probably has something to do with it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Xanth novels, but imagine D and D if you dropped acid, but the side effect of acid is everything became a dad joke. That's the Xanth novels.
It sounds
That pretty
adorable.
much nailed it.
Yeah, and it takes place in Florida, which is already a pretty magical place. Um,
By magical, you mean meth and bath salt rigging.
that's what I said. Yeah. So alchemy is magic now. It's official. Eberron comes out in a few weeks. All right. So back to Dungeons and Dragons. A lot of craziness happened last week. And we have a lot to cover. So I'll sum it up real quick. You finished your battle against the crew of the Sea Ghost. You took their captain prisoner, in so much as she survived her death saving throws. You sort of let fate decide. It was a crazy fight that took place on the deck, in the rigging, under the ship, in the ship, literally every part of the map, the rocks nearby, everything. It was incredibly dynamic fight. But now the crew has surrendered. You have sailed free of the Kraken's teeth, and you are essentially processing the crew, the cargo, the the survivors, and what you're going to do next. So I sent documents to you guys during the week that reminded you about the ship rules that we use. Full disclosure, D&D, even Pirate D&D is still like, I want to say 90% D&D. Even in Skull and Shackles, they don't get into as much ship combat, I think, as all of us would like. But that's because they're usually doing mostly Dungeons and Dragons type stuff. But this is a sandbox-ish game. So if you guys were like in love with the idea of just every week getting into more sea battles, Of course, that's something that could be accommodated. But what I'm trying to say is, don't stress too much about like the ship combat stuff. And what else? Oh yeah, the crew. Like I sent out the list of the people that you had. So if you have any questions about that listing or whatever's on it, I can answer that today also. All right. Now you may hear a mysterious snoozy sound in the background. Um, that's
That's
just
the bug again.
that's just sound effect machine. So yeah. I don't know what it is. Yeah. So it's sleeping creatures. They're sleeping creatures because my entire family unit went and played the tennis yesterday, and we're not really an athletic family, so pretty much everybody was destroyed by the tennis. So yeah. I even had the Mario Tennis soundtrack playing on my phone in my pocket because I thought it would make me better at tennis. It didn't help at all. So,
That's awesome.
yeah. But everybody had fun. That's the important part. All right. So, what now, guys? You have a ship.
Well,
If I recall, we have a damaged ship.
It
Yeah.
is a bit damaged, yeah.
I think the first thing Jenna's gonna do is get the snakes out of her captain's cloak.
All right, you're gonna get the snakes out of the coat.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, there are a few snakes left that didn't feel like clocking in for work. But you see that the cool thing about the coat is it's not magical per se, but it has many, many, many pockets, which some people are really into. So there are many pockets on the outside, many pockets on the
Are they like
inside.
book-sized pockets?
Oh, for sure. I mean,
Oh,
they
this
could
is
hold
awesome.
snakes. So
Did we get a short
Yeah,
rest or a
so
long
she's
rest?
gonna desnake it and prestidigitation it so it's no longer foul.
okay. I mean, I don't want you to think that sweet Captain Sigma Snake Eyes was a dirty girl, but you know, her hygiene habits were maybe not as good as some other bad guys. You know, there's certainly not that much fastidiousness at work there. All right, so you're working on the coat. Does anybody else have anything they want to do? Any questions they need answered? Anything's?
Yeah, did we get a long rest or a short rest?
I think at this point you have gotten a short rest.
Okay, I can accept that.
So you could definitely spend hit dice if you are so inclined. The ghost of your bard will roll a ghostly d6 for you. Okay, he recovers 0 extra health because he's dead.
Yeah. I'm just thinking your thing.
Well, we did this as a job, did we not? We were working for somebody.
Yes. Kind of, yes.
So perhaps we should report in, maybe take ourselves to port, get some repairs done, and report in on the success of the job.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I do want to make sure none of these crew are trying anything first.
All right.
Do we need to like meet in the captain's cabin to have this discussion? Like, are the crew listening in?
I mean, you know, it's a small boat, so it wouldn't be too hard for anyone to listen in. It's a tricky situation of do you leave them unsupervised so you can have a secret meeting, or do you know what's the plan here?
Alvis is completely fine staying on deck at the wheel if everyone wants to go into the captain's cabin to have a meeting. Alvis is pretty much fine with you guys coming out and saying we're doing this, and he'll be like, all right.
Okay.
That seems reasonable.
And I think we finished a tour of the ship last week, right?
Yes.
We did.
All right. So here's things that are definitely on the probably need to be dealt with list. You had the sea elf prisoner. You have the mysterious lizard folk.
Jenna is like using the sea elf prisoner as a cabin boy.
Okay.
Oh, that was the plan, yes.
Cabin boy or rent boy?
And then the lizard folk. Oh yeah, because the lizard folk aren't part of the crew.
Nope, nope, nope. They're here to get their weapons.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we were told where those were squirreled away on the ship.
Yeah, your understanding is that the lizard folk have paid a rather hefty sum of electrum ingots for guns. So there's a lot going on with that statement that I don't know if any of your characters would understand the significance of. So I suppose you could roll nature checks to see what your characters would know about lizard folk.
We did meet them once.
Yeah, yeah. So Alvis, guns are, as everybody knows, illegal in the Sword Coast. But more, that's not too unusual because lizard folk kind of march to the beat of their own drum, anyways. They are a monstrous race. They don't pay taxes. They're not considered citizens of any of like the quote unquote humanoid kingdoms or regions or anything like that. So the fact that they're breaking the law, I mean, that's whatever. Like they don't follow human laws. But lizard folk, as a people, have done things the same way for like 1,000,000+ years. So they're like, you have club, you have spear, you have axe, you have spiky shield, you have teeth, you have scales. Like, what else do you need? You're absolutely perfect. The famous halfling bard Bruno Mars, they're beautiful just the way they are. You know what I'm saying? And they acknowledge that, like they know that they're absolute perfection. And you can't improve, right? You can't improve on perfection. So they never go in for like complex technology. A lot of times they don't even go in for metalworking, depending on how primitive the tribe is. So the fact that these dudes are trading those good, metal ingots, right, for guns it doesn't make any sense. I'll be honest, it doesn't make any sense.
Trying to figure out how Alvis's voice would convey such information.
Yeah, so that's like that would be. I mean, you're an intelligent guy, so that would definitely be like a lot of like red flags that would kind of like pop up. The rest of you with like an 11 and a 12, you're just kind of like lizard folk. They're like people and lizards. I got it.
Yeah, Alvis would just whenever we got that information, he'd just kind of be like, "Well, that's weird,"
Stop it.
and he'll just explain why if anyone asks. I'm sure they'll be like, "Why is that weird?" And he'll just be like, "They don't use tools other than those they can make themselves."
That's a good way to put it.
Hmm.
Like,
And how many guns did they buy with the Electrum?
Like 2,000 gold worth of guns and
4 of 'em?
ammunition. Now your best source of information on them is probably going to be Toothpick Tate, who seems the most willing to share and assist and the most well informed. Bloody Bjorn also knows a lot, but he's still being a bit more
Cagey.
Cagey, yeah. You can tell that Toothpick Tate knows that he has dropped his buttered toast and it landed butter side down. So he is definitely looking for a new piece of toast. Whereas Bloody Bjorn, he's trying to pick the hair and dirt out of the butter and try to salvage the shit.
Yeah, Jenna would kind of call get someone to bring Tate down to the place where they're meeting.
Okay. So where are you guys going to meet? Captain's quarters, wizard's quarters, down in the hold? Do you
Captain's
want to go
quarters,
all
I
the way
think.
down into the bilge? Like,
No, I think the captain quarters is fine.
okay. So that's actually right there. So it's right off the main deck, up at the top of the ship. All right. So Alvis kind of cues you guys in on that as he takes the wheel, and you guys head inside the cabin to discuss. You leave him in charge of this entire crew as you go to have this conversation.
Step 1 of my plan complete.
All right. So, in the captain's quarters, which are a little crowded. I mean, it's a ship, so
Yeah.
yeah. I know a couple of people here could attest that this is probably huge compared to most ship accommodations. All right. So, what do you got? What's the plan?
Toothpick,
I
tell me
guess-
of these. Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead. I'm good.
Toothpick, tell us of these lizard folk. What are they doing here? Tell us all about them. It's weird for them to want guns and to purchase them, and I believe you may know more about it.
Oh, aye. It is strange. It is strange. So here's the thing. We're working with a group out of the Southlands. You may have heard of them. The Scarlet Brotherhood.
Okay.
Yeah. They're a bunch of demon worshipping whack jobs, to be sure. Anywho, turns out, Captain, she's got a brother, you see, and he's sort of a big deal in their organization. Some kind of warlock or priest of a being calls itself the Merilith.
I
So
think we might have run into that guy.
he brought his sister and, by association, the rest of us in on his operations here in the area. Apparently, he was going to handle business on land, and we were going to handle business on the seas. And at first, it was just your standard smuggling operations, trying to generate as much income as we could for the organization, and we got a fair cut and then some on the side. So that was going pretty well. But they started to get a bit more sinister with their demands. I don't have a problem running guns and smuggled goods. That's fine. But we did start dipping our toes into the slave trade a bit, which that takes you from some time in Waterdeep prison to a very short amount of time at the end of a noose or worse. So a lot of us were hesitant, but the captain's word is law on the high seas. So we just kind of went with it. So there have been a few exchanges of sentient humanoid beings. Now, none of that answers your questions about the lizard folk, but I'm setting the scene for the tale. You see,
Very well.
So, Snake Boy on land, he makes contact. You see, with the lizards of the Lizard Marsh. I know, not a very original name. You got Saltmarsh, you got Lizard Marsh, you got Dunmarsh. They're all marshes. They're all the same marsh. It's like when there's a road and they give the road different names, but it's the same damn road. That's kind of, anyways. So he makes contact with the lizard folk, and it turns out that they're having a bit of a problem, you see. They're at war. A war they're having a lot of trouble with. So he uses that serpent tongue of his to make an arrangement. Powerful boomsticks from a magical island out in the Great Sea, etc., etc. Arrangements are made. We swing by. a demonstration is done of the power of these weapons, and the leader of these lizard folk, she sends the money and some of her own people to make sure that we don't steal the money, which I'll be honest, we could have just stolen the money and the individuals, but there is an issue here, you see. The lizard folk, they view any soft skins as soft skins. So if we gone and done them dirty, they'll take out their frustrations on all the soft skins in the region, meaning your little town of Saltmarsh, travelers on the roads, all that sort of stuff. Therefore, it's in the best interest of business folk as ourselves who need a place to buy and sell goods to not have that place destroyed by angry lizard folk who feel they were done dirty. So we took their money, we took their diplomatic away team, and they traveled with us to go pick up the guns. Apparently, a big part of it was the lizard folk wanted to see what sort of folk we were, to see if we were worth dealing with. So, anyways, you caught us after we had gotten the guns, and we was headed back towards the Dun Marshes to drop off the lizard folk and their weapons. Captain
Okay.
Sigma, she thought it'd be good, since we was passing by anyways, to check in on Sam Blanet. And, well, this and that and the other, and now we're here.
So tell me what they want with the sea elf.
Ah, the sea elf. Well, we're dropping off the guns up north by Dunwater. We'll be also dropping off the sea elf. There's apparently another sea elf what don't like sea elves too much, and got in contact with our organization and was looking to pick up such a specimen for some sort of blood sacrifice, I believe.
So the lizard folk were interested in him?
No. This is a separate client. You see, part of good business is min-maxing
Yes.
and double dipping.
Then just answering
So the
fully.
guns were for the lizard folk of Dunwater, and then we was to meet our other contact and drop off the elf in the same region.
And who's the other contact?
The other contact is another sea elf.
Give his name.
Yes, Malvos.
And how much was he paying for the elf?
Oh, I think he was going to pay 1,000 gold for him.
No, it's not bad.
It's just like you said, slavery is a quick way to the jails of Waterdeep.
Well, slavery will just get you hung. Yeah, they
Or even worse.
the lands of the Sword Coast, they don't tolerate slavery.
Mm.
The guns, they'll give you a slap on the hand, a hefty fee, they'll confiscate your goods, and maybe they'll give you a little time to think about it behind bars. But in the end, you'll still be walking free eventually. But they catch you slaving. And that's pretty much the end right there. That's worse than devil worship.
Well, I feel like I might know or know some of their compatriots, so that might not be too difficult. I guess we pump the sea elf for information.
Ooh, well, you could certainly try. From what I heard through the thin wood of this here ship, Captain Sigma was pumping him pretty hard.
Perhaps
That's a
Captain
big
Jenna,
part
you
of how
should
she managed to catch him
have-
so easy. Picked him up in a port of call.
So, Toothpick Tate, quick question. The pumping, was that of an information nature or a sexual nature?
I mean, both.
Did
The captain, despite her appearance, can be quite alluring when she needs to be.
were y'all looking for a specific sea elf or just any sea elf?
No, the contract was for any sea elf, so we pretty much.
Okay, so
picked
you
up
might
the
not
first-
know.
Yeah, she just grabbed the first one she found. Guy was drunk and foolish. What was the name of that town? I'm racking my brains trying to figure it out. It was one of them islands west of here. Yes. Care Westfall on Snowdown.
Hmm.
Tate, is there any other information you believe we should know?
Who are the lizard folk looking to kill in such mass quantities? I mean, given the guns, they could kill people anyway.
My understanding is there's some sort of shark folk in I don't know, intruding on their territory. I'll be honest, they kind of spook me a bit, so I've been letting them do their thing and worrying about my own business. I ain't the captain. I ain't even the first mate. So I'm
Oh.
just a guy who likes to listen.
Question.
Sure.
These guns, where did you get them from?
We got him from a contact near Lantan.
Do you
The
know
Isle of
that guy?
Wonders. You've heard of it, yeah?
Yeah.
Far south towards Chult. We
Do
do a lot
you-
of business out of Chult. We was running goods hard during the soulmonger deal. You remember that's when no folk could come back from the dead. So there was all manner of desperate folk trying to find alternative methods to bring back loved ones who had passed or save themselves from the cancerous rot that was caused by the resurrection curse. So we were selling all sorts of stuff. Rhino horn, ground up baby Kirines, all sorts of contraband. Oh, it was a good time to be a smuggler, to be sure.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but the
Mm.
contact you have, is he still alive or did you kill him?
No, whoa, kill a contact? That's crazy.
I mean, have you seen your guys? They're not very nice.
Yes, you see, you can be a badass person and a total hard case without being a fucking idiot.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Mhm. You might want to write that one down. That's free advice.
Okay, yeah, sure. But this contact, how do we reach him if we needed to?
I see. You're hoping to pick up where she left off.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
you
your
got it.
best bet would be to keep alive people who were here before you, that were well informed and good listeners.
I like him.
Anybody got a problem
What about
keeping
to
this?
ingratiate himself?
Come again there, Master Swordsman?
Know how to ingratiate yourself to the group.
Oh, I'm just a man who likes getting a paycheck and being useful.
Of course you are, my friend. Of course. And Pietro winks at Toothpick Tate and sort of gives him a knowing nod as they're both sort of
He does the
good souls.
really gross but interesting flick spin, where he uses his tongue to spin the toothpick to the other side of his mouth and kind of nods at you. Well, my advice is if you really want to know what the lizard folk is dealing with, and you really want to take over their contract, you speak with them. But I am putting it out here plainly for you. If you go and screw these lizard folk now, they ain't gonna care that you're not Captain Sigma. They ain't gonna care that you got nothing to do with her. They ain't gonna care that it's just business. If we don't return these folk with those guns, there'll be trouble for the whole region.
Very well, thank you. Tate, you've been very cooperative, and I'd love to see it stay that way.
Cooperative is something you say to a prisoner. I'm not a prisoner now, am I?
Of course not. You're a new employee. However,
right.
I believe I believe it best if you talk to the rest of the crew and help them see your side of things. I'm sure some of them are uneasy about the new circumstances they're in.
Of course, of course. The main thing that these folk are going to be concerned about is that you don't just kill them outright and toss them to the sharks, but that you turn them in for reward. If there's something that a pirate needs more than anything else, it's their freedom.
I
Oh.
very much understand.
Another question. Toothpick Tate.
Hmm.
Does this ship has a armory already, or?
I mean, we have extra bolts for the ballista. We're pretty proud of the fact we got 4 of them.
Oh yeah, I definitely noticed.
We had looked into cannons, but they're awfully expensive. I'll be honest, they don't impress me too much. Feels like it'd be cheaper to just room and board a fucking giant and have him throw cannonballs himself than to have a big metal monstrosity like that strapped to your boat.
The words of a simpleton. Fair enough. Yes, but
I mean, I've seen a giant at work, and I've seen a cannon at work. I don't see much of a difference.
but there are no armory here. That's what you're
But then
saying.
again, a cannon can't be enchanted by your enemies to start destroying the ship. So I suppose there is some merit to it.
So no armory, though, is what you're saying. Okay. Okay.
I mean, the crew has their own weapons. They've got their own foot lockers. They maintain their own gear and equipment. Mixed in with the guns for the lizard folk, we have our extra powder and shot.
Before, if we do hand over the weapons to the lizard folk, I'm gonna take a rifle from that stockpile and some ammo before hand it over to him. If that's okay with you, Captain Jenna.
I don't think that would be a good idea.
We'll speak about it here shortly. And Jenna kind of like eyes Tate like, maybe you've been here too long, brother.
Whatever decision you come to, just please heed the words what I said to you.
Thank you, Tate.
All right. So what's next on the agenda?
I mean, I think we're gonna talk real quick about how we feel about this situation.
Sure.
So, I don't much see making an enemy out of these people is a good idea.
Yeah, and they've helped us previously, so maybe we can even, I don't know, parlay it into something better.
Yeah. I mean, I do see room for profit if the lizard folk are warring with Saltmarsh, but I don't think that would be in the best.
They're not warring with Saltmarsh. They're
Well, he
It's
said
not sure.
he said if we screwed them over, they'd essentially the lizard folk that is start attacking all soft skins, which I
Yeah,
believe
I don't.
Saltmarsh is the closest hub to them.
Well, I don't see any need to screw them over, so.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think our employer would much appreciate it,
I
considering
was more
Saltmarsh
thinking
is
that
his
we
utmost
could
enemy.
ingratiate ourselves a little bit further than we have. In fact, I mean, depending on how long these people have been away, Garuda might be able to go and have a chat since they all think he's awesome.
Oh,
Aren't
are these the same lizard folk?
See that? Yeah, that's one.
Now he
I'm
did
not
mention
sure.
that there's 2,000 gold worth of electrum, but you guys have only found one chest with 1,000 gold. So 10 electrum ingots worth one. All right, sorry, 10 electrum ingots worth. Oh, I'm sorry. The total is 1,000 fucking electrum pieces. Each so the chest you found contains 10 electrum ingots worth 100 EP each, which is so obnoxious. Because basically it's 500 gold worth of electrum ingots. So you guys did find that. But he basically said that there was 1,000 gold worth of electrum. You have not found the other half of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 Sorry for the confusion. So I don't know why they would ever list values in electrum pieces instead of gold pieces. I don't know. These are professionals. These are the people that work for Wizards of the Coast. I put my trust in them. All right. So, and I think I did it when I quoted you the treasure last time. I think I did. Nope, I did it wrong there too. So let me. Where you have in treasure 10 electrum ingots worth 100 a piece. Those are worth 50 gold a piece. It was listed as 100 electrum pieces a piece. So if you just want to edit that post real quick in your treasure. Cool. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet it wouldn't make much sense for them to pay all at once. I believe we should just talk with the lizard folk and let them know that whatever previous deals they had are still on.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. How
Do you
does
want to go
everyone
speak with
else
them
agree?
in their cabin, or do you want them brought to you?
let's go to them.
No, if we are trying to establish a relationship of power, we should have them come to us.
See, I'm just not sure that they see power in the same way we would.
I think we're trying to establish a relationship of friendship.
Well, before we meet with them, a thought I was having is we could possibly increase the money that we get off this deal. We could possibly play one side against these other. With these shark folk, perhaps they're amenable for us to betray them, but then we help the lizard folk set up an ambush, get paid twice.
What?
Crash, from what I know about shark people, are they amenable and dealy?
Have we done knowledge checks on?
I think I did a knowledge check for the shark
Sahaugen
before. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Sahaugen are quite evil. Yeah, they are evil, and I guess you would say alien in their beliefs and whatnot. So, gosh, really, they just do what's in the best interest of their own people, and that's it. So you could certainly play to that angle. They are orderly people. So if alignment was a thing, on the average, they would all be lawful evil. So there's hope, right, that they could be dealt with. And as a species, they are quite intelligent, being more intelligent than human beings on the average.
I mean, they perhaps may be amenable. I'm not sure how we would begin to get in contact with Sahaugen, though. And I'm not quite sure they're the people we should be dealing with.
If I want to be in the middle of a war.
Well, I'm not saying we get into the middle of a war. I'm saying we lead them down a primrose path and have the lizard people ambush them, kill them.
Then that would get us in the middle of a war.
Well, they don't have to know it us. And we do this favor for the lizard folk, and we'd be on our merry way.
There are always people pulling the strings. Why not us? Why don't we be the ones to profit off a war?
All I'm saying is it's an idea. It increases our payday, and hey, I'm all about the money. But I do understand if if it's too risky, if risk out benefit, outweighs reward. Hey, I am not afraid to take a different course.
Now, the elf prisoner, you did have him cleaned up and brought to the captain's cabin. I'm assuming you had him moved to a different
Oh
cabin
yeah, for
your-
sure, for
for your
sure, we
meeting?
would have had him.
Okay, so he'll be in the next room over in the wizard's cabin.
So speaking of money, we need to figure out where the rest of those ingots are.
I assume the lizard folk have it with them.
We need to
Same.
verify.
I think we should just speak with the lizard folk and let them know we're not going to screw them over.
Yeah.
I'm not
Before we do
sure.
that, what do we want to do about the rest of the crew? I do not like this bloody Bjorn fellow. I want to kill that motherfucker, but I also understand he.
I think we interview them one at a time, and we make sure they're not risky to keep around.
I feel
But
that
You
would
want to
be a
interview a
misuse of
dozen
our
people?
time.
It would be best if we built a rapport with them. Let them know they're not prisoners, but they can still have their jobs and live their lives how they previously were.
And well, I am fairly insightful, so I might be able to glean about who would not adapt.
Wouldn't it be? Oh, actually, you know what? Elvis isn't there. Never mind.
I mean, that's like your entire class or subclass.
Yes, I do
If
believe
you
your
can-
talents would be very useful for this outfit.
Yeah, I can, well, to be with you when discussing the lizard folk, or alternatively, I could interview the crew while you are doing that.
I mean, I don't see any reason to rush.
So
great thing about-
Alvis, while you are steering the ship, Bloody Bjorn is essentially barking orders at everyone who is topside. He sent a team of 3 people down below decks to begin repairs. And he's trying his best to get everybody to fill positions that may now be missing staff because of the battle that transpired. This ship to run at its full efficiency does require a crew of 20 individuals.
I mean, if he meets my eyes at all while he's doing it, I'll
Mhm.
just give him a nod. He seems to know what he's about, and he's if he's got people working, he's got people
All right. Oh, and
doing
you
their
meet
thing.
his eyes. He nods at you, and he walks towards you, and he says, "Sounds like your companions are down there having a pretty serious meeting."
Yeah, they talk too much.
Talk is cheap. Words, they're wind. But these could be some of the most important words that are going to be spoken on this ship for quite some time. Seems strange, then, you being cut out of these conversations.
Elvis is just gonna grin, look up at the sky, and goes, "I prefer being outdoors to indoors. I prefer the wind and the rain over the words. This suits me fine."
Well, if you need someone to take the helm while you go down and palaver, let me know. Otherwise, I'm doing my best here to keep us adrift while you figure out our next move. I have to warn you there, you don't want to take this baby out too far into the deep ocean. We attract the attention of just about anything, and we're sunk.
Elvis is just gonna nod and say that he's angling closer to Saltmarsh for repair.
All right. So down below, or not below, but in the captain's quarters. What next, guys?
I think we're gonna talk to the. I think we're gonna go and meet with the lizard folk.
Okay. So you gonna go to them or have them come to you? I didn't.
I think we're gonna go to them.
All right. It will be hella crowded. They have like a 12-foot by 10-foot.
Okay, we're
gathering.
gonna invite them in.
Okay. that the three of them are all sharing together.
Yeah, and it's gonna be very much like an invitation, not like
Okay.
come see us. It's gonna be like your presence is requested in the captain's quarters.
All right. So they arrive. So there are these guys
Have a bird with them?
that are just two of them. And then there is an albino looking one that is dressed more spellcastery. And I say dressed, they don't wear clothes, but this one is wearing more clothes than the others. And this one has a staff, like a wooden staff that seems to be made out of some willowy, kind of gnarled swamp wood. And in addition to that, they have like a side satchel. They definitely have like the air of an important, wise leader type thing going on. The other two are just straight up crocodile dude like bruisers. So they have their spiky shields, they have their javelins, they have their spears, they have they have a lot of weapons. These guys go full Casey Jones. They have many different weapons to choose from when they are fighting. Size wise, lizard folk are big, but they're not big in they're pushing the limits of medium size. They stand about 6 feet tall, 7 feet tall, and they are 200 to 300 pounds. So they're big. They're like the Rock big, but they're not like, gosh, I wish my Minotaur was a large creature, but Jeremy Crawford said he couldn't be big. So if that kind of gives you an idea. So basically, if the Rock was the Croc, that would be kind of what their build is. Now, perched like a adorable yet deadly kitten, or cat, I should say, on the shoulders of the albino one is this strange orange, reddish, goldish dragon.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very cute.
it's so fluffy.
By fluffy, you mean spiny and might bite your hand off.
Yeah, so the little dragon seems incredibly intelligent and definitely seems to be either the friend, companion, familiar, who knows, of whatever this creature's name is.
Okay.
I think I have full-size art of it. If you're interested, this is it. I guess destroying a perfectly good glass of cider.
Oh,
Yeah, it's very cute. So
Okay, kind of like as they like enter the room, Jenna
Mhm.
like stands and she's like, "Hail and well met," and all the normal
right.
pleasantries that probably go right over the lizard folk
Well,
stuff.
this one narrows her eyes and she looks at you expectantly when you say "Hail and well met," as if she was waiting for something.
Um, can I rack my brain to see if I can figure out what kind
Oh,
of cultural?
I mean, yeah. Based on your background and whatnot, you realize that you did not extend the forearm of shaking.
Okay, then yeah, Jenna would extend the forearm of shaking.
She kind of slowly nods, like that's what she was waiting for, and with a pale, leanly muscled. Again, she's not a big boy like the other two. She grasps your forearm and presents her forearm for you to grasp in the traditional handshake of the Sword Coast.
Yep.
This one says, "Hail and well met in return."
Welcome. Welcome aboard my ship.
Well,
I
we were aboard already. The ship of she who walks the line between
two worlds.
Yes.
I saw that she is tied up and imprisoned. It seems that a greater power has been visited upon her, and she was found to be lacking. This one understands that that is the way of the world.
Yes, that it is. We took the ship quite forcefully. That is true.
So it is no secret that you are possessed of great strength and determination. Your battle was witnessed by this one and these. You are a powerful rune caster, shaman.
Well, yes, thank you. We all are quite powerful, the six of us.
This delicious one here uses the boomsticks. Further proof of the wisdom of our princess.
Did she just call me
Yes, I
delicious?
understand. You guys are having relation issues with the shark folk, the Salgans.
Yes, they Sahalgin have brought great pain and torment to our people.
Alvis, I'm going to move a copy of your mini down just so you can see what the hell's going on.
Cool.
All right. I mean, it's not much, but you know.
Don't mind me, guys. I'm just an Elvis on the
What?
wall.
Yeah, they just sit there staring at you,
Yep.
mostly unblinking.
So I understand you were in dealings with the one who used to hold the ship.
Yes,
Snake
she
folk.
who walks the fine line between two worlds. She was the agent brokering, completing the deal that was brokered between my people and those of the Black Star.
Do I know what she means when she says Black Star?
I think you guys are intelligent enough to kind of be piecing this together.
Oh, okay. Scarlet,
yeah.
Scarlet Brethren. Got it.
Yeah. Because again, your characters, right? Like the D&D sessions are their actual life. So they don't spend like, 6.5 days playing Houses and Humans and keeping track of you guys' real life jobs and all that kind of shit and then have to remember this. So for your characters, all that's still pretty fresh.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we don't have much interest in the Black Star, but we are amenable to
They are a
continuing your
means to
previous
an
offering.
end. Ah, good. It is good that you would pick up the mantle of your predecessor. The boomsticks will come in great handy when we must face off against the Sahaugans' continued threat to our homeland.
Yes, I believe they will. I understand that the original deal was 1,000 gold
1,000.
worth of Electrum, yet we only have half.
Filthy metal currency. We have gathered it and smelted it into these bars.
Yes, is there more of it?
The other half of the payment is back with the princess and will be presented upon the delivery of the goods.
Very well. Well, I don't see any reason why that can't stay how it is. Please enjoy your time on board.
We
Let me know if
have.
you need anything.
The remnants of your battle have proven quite delicious.
And you do notice there are some bloodstains around all of their mouths.
You can't stop a lizard folk, man.
We do ask that you make haste to return. There is much that needs to be done to prepare against ongoing attacks. This one would hasten back to the princess with tidings of good news and weapons of mass destruction.
Of course, you do understand that we have our repairs to be made, of course. Um, we want to make
This is
sure we can
of-
get your shipment there safely.
I see. So this wooden whale has been damaged.
That it has, yes. But we
Healing
are,
magics will do no good for it. It is a
No.
construct.
yes, a construct. Unless you knew mending, I don't believe you much help.
The damage here is far too great for such a simple cantrip.
True, true.
Does that mean we must go to the anthill known as Salty Marsh?
We may. Um, we'll know here shortly.
Hmm. Fair enough. Does this new captain have any questions for this one or these? Else we will return to our cabin. The great sea makes us uneasy. Our people love the waters, but not in this abundance, for deadly horrors sleep beneath its depths.
Definitely. My door's open. Just let me know if you need anything, and we'll let you know if we need anything.
All right.
Did she call me delicious?
Yes, she did.
Well, to be fair, you would probably taste pretty good with a sauce.
Did you just say I would taste pretty good?
My friend, I am only teasing you.
As you say that, do your orc nostrils kind of take in the sweet, delicious rotisserie smell of his cologne? Or...
But to be fair, if you and I were stranded on a desert island, you would probably go first.
You have to kill me first, orc man.
So I'm going to eat you. I'm not going to eat you raw. That is barbaric. But I joke.
Yes.
Yeah. He jokes.
All right. So, what is the plan then, Pirate Fam?
Well, do we need to go back to Saltmarsh?
We've got a gaping hole in the side of the ship.
Well, but could we potentially go back to the house that crawls and repair there?
Hmm. I don't know, but there's such a small. You could only get a small boat onto that shore.
Hmm.
Um.
Though, didn't we
I
really need to
would
go
like
back to the
the-
house that crawls?
I would like the contraband off the ship before we pull into Saltmarsh.
Yeah.
By
So-
contraband, you mean the guns?
Yes.
You know where the guns are stored. Bloody Bjorn did not show us.
I thought we did. Didn't 258 shows where the guns were?
Yeah, during
no.
our tour.
Yeah.
They showed you where the prisoner was stashed. I don't know if they showed you where the guns were stored. They showed you where the supplies were stored, where the extra rope and rigging and wood and tar, food stores. But I
I
don't
don't remember Bloody Bjorn showing us. I think that was
Yeah.
his ace in the hole, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't think they've actually shown you where they're hiding the guns.
Yeah, they only showed us what was obviously there and not the hidden compartments.
And the only
Think-
reason they showed you the hidden compartment is because stupid elf was screaming for help, and it was kind of hard to be like, "That's nothing. We've got a ghost. We're haunted." Which did run through their minds. They were like, "Maybe we'll tell them we're haunted. It's Dungeons and Dragons. They might believe us."
I mean,
Perhaps it's time we speak with Bjorn then.
All right,
Assuming he wants to give up that information.
you want Bjorn to come on down?
Yep.
Okay.
hey, Crash, question. Is there any extra rifles that, like, from people we killed?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, there's at least one spare rifle in their personal armory.
Okay, Fair enough.
Didn't you take the rifle from the elvish sniper?
Yeah, I mean, you did take the lookout's rifle already, but if you're looking for another one, there would be a backup one because guns have a tendency to jam and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
All right, Bjorn enters.
Welcome.
Looks at everybody.
Just stares daggers at him, but says nothing.
It's sort of like a Pokemon Brock situation. Does he have eyes? Doesn't he have eyes? You're pretty sure he has eyes.
I don't think he has eyes.
Well, here I am.
Yes, I believe we both understand the situation we're in. Please sit down. Speak with us, if you will.
Where do you want me to sit? The floor, the bed?
The bed's fine.
All right. He sits on the edge of the bed.
So tell me, what was your role and what did you do here before we took over the ship?
I was the first mate, so I pretty much ran the ship, if we're being honest.
Excellent. I'm happy
As a
we.
would-be captain, I'm sure you understand that the captain's job is mostly to be hard. It's the first mate's job to actually do the running of the ship.
Definitely. Um. Well, I'm happy that you didn't fall in the previous battle. How amenable are you to working with us?
We don't know much about you, except that you're terrible at subterfuge, and you're lucky in a fight.
I appreciate his honesty.
Jenna
I'll
lets
be
slips
honest,
out
your
one of
style would lend itself more to a red flag type of piracy. I don't know if in me old age I've got the appetite for red flagging.
Do I
And
know
by
what he
red
means
flagging,
by?
he means the practice of murdering everyone you encounter. Red flag pirates would take no prisoners, they would leave no survivors. The whole idea is that eventually the reputation as mass murderers would get ahead of them, and anybody that saw a red flag would realize, like, that's it, we're done, and they would jump overboard, get into lifeboats, just try to get the hell out of there. Or conversely, they would fight like caged rats. So it was definitely a riskier style of piracy. Pirates that had a reputation, like black flag pirates that had a reputation for, hey, we're just here for your goods. You guys give us your stuff and we'll spare your lives. A lot of times those guys could sail up on a ship and the ship would already have all the goods ready and be like, here's your goods, please don't kill us. Red flag pirates, though, there was no hope. They would just murder everybody. So that's what he's referring to when he says red flag.
Well, you're still alive, aren't you?
Aye. In so much as you probably didn't want to get smashed on the rocks in Kraken's teeth. But now that we're out in the calm waters, headed back towards Saltmarsh, I know that my usefulness and that of my crewmates is going to become steadily less and less so the closer we get to land.
Well, we have
It's
big
not
plans.
unheard of for new management to say out with the old and in with the new.
Well, it really all depends on how useful you can make yourself, doesn't it?
I'm about as useful as you're going to find. The question that I has for you is, what sort of business will you be getting up to? What would make it interesting and profitable for me and mine?
I mean, it's quite simple, really. Um, everyone here is in search of power. Um, we'll profit. However is most profitable. We are amenable. and open to all sorts of work.
I
If you stay on
see.
board, you may find yourself very rich.
How do you weigh in on devil worship?
I don't much I don't much have a tongue for it, to be honest. I don't really care about those that do. It doesn't really offend me that they do, but I don't much see
Demonology.
us getting involved in it.
Any of y'all in a cult? You gotta try to make us join a cult.
No,
I
no.
fucking hate cultists.
How do you feel about slavery?
How I feel about slavery is that I value my skin. If you want to have one, that's fine, but we will absolutely turn you over.
Hmm, hmm.
We don't really have a taste for slavery either. It's too risky.
So it sounds like you're just gonna be taking over what we was already up to, minus our connections and network.
But we have our own connections that will overlap those previous.
Interesting.
We have roots in Saltmarsh.
Now, we was in Saltmarsh there, but a week ago. Fought a big, mean green dragonborn while I was there. Lad put up quite a bit of a fight. It's a good town, and they're awfully lenient on confirming one's claimed identity. That being said, the crew's awful nervous like that when we reach port of call, you'll be turning us in for some sort of reward.
I mean, that is an option, of course. Not one I was very much considering. I much more would prefer keeping on to the strong crew I believe the ship has.
Now, if there was some way you could address the crew as a whole and promise them their continued lives and freedom, you'd probably get a lot more out of them.
Like a captain's call.
Yes, I believe that is what we are looking into doing. Would you be amenable to showing us where all of the guns and
Ah, and there we have it. And there we have it. Look, you're a smart group, and once you get to town and start fixing the ship, your like is to find it yourself. So it would benefit me greatly to just tell you exactly where it is, despite it being what many of us view as our last gambling chip. I ain't no fool. I know that you know the guns are here, and that you know we had a secret compartment what we were storing the elf in. So it's only a matter of time before you realize it's literally right next to that one.
very well?
Well, thank you for being helpful.
A lot of these boys and girls, they try to play smart, but they ain't smart. They're good at what they do, and that's follow orders and be pirates.
Well,
Right.
that is what we're interested in.
Can I insight check this whole conversation here?
Yeah, totally. All right. Do you want it? You want secretly to know everything that's going on with the last few conversations? I can give you a quick info dump on it.
I mean, I don't care if it's public because I would tell everyone.
Okay. So, Toothpick Tate is very much out for Toothpick Tate. He would probably slit his mama's throat for a silver piece, or God forbid, an electrum piece. Because yeah, he's the kind of guy that says and does what is needed to ensure his continued survival. While that is immediately useful, that he's the kind of person who would be the first person to betray you guys for a better deal, is what you get off of Toothpick Tate.
Yeah.
Off the lizard folk, they are an alien culture with an alien mind. It was a much harder for you to get like a bead off of them. But from what you gather, the two big boys, they like to eat and they like to fight. The smaller albino female is proud of her position, proud of her ability to interface with the soft skins in what she views as a very a very competent way, and she is eager to return home and show whoever this princess is that the mission was a success. She also seems to be harboring some hope that she can use her incredible diplomacy skills. Again, this is her self confidence to sway you into the service of her people. Yes, guys, Afra picked up all that from that conversation. That is so. So RP subclasses are not worthless. Just please take note of that. Now Bloody Bjorn. Bloody Bjorn. You could tell that he is extremely pissed off. He is a dwarf. He is a man. He is a manly man, and he has been bested by what he views to be a circus troupe. He definitely thinks that he must not have prayed hard enough to the gods for them to send this quintet of absolute buffoons who somehow managed to take down what he viewed as his very competent, very powerful captain and the crew. Um, he he has got salty sore sports disease right now, and he also cares very much for the crew and does not want any more of them to die. And you get the feeling that he is the kind of person who would step up and offer himself up if it meant saving the rest of the crew. So this is not a good person, but this is definitely a noble heart. So for the people that this guy cares about, he is willing to take hits, make sacrifices, and step up. So that's the general gist that you get from Bloody Bjorn. All right.
You let us know how you feel about the people.
Of course.
Well, Bjorn's still in the
after
room.
Bjorn leaves.
Right. So you guys wouldn't know about this Bloody Bjorn info until after he exited. But yeah, so that's kind of what you pick up from that Afra, is that he doesn't like you guys, but he does acknowledge and respect that you were lucky enough, which to superstitious people is often more powerful than being strong enough, to do what you did.
After I gotta admit, I'm pretty happy you're on our side.
Don't go inside checking me.
Because
We already have.
We already
He
have.
knows that the secret got out.
Her class allows her to message me any day of the week and be like, how's so and so feeling? Yeah. So Bjorn just kind of sits there stoically.
I think you can go.
Mm.
You can go.
Aye. If you have any intention of making a run of this, you're gonna need repairs. And it's probably gonna take 3 or 4 days to make them. And you're gonna want to fill the ranks what you thinned.
Yes.
Saltmarsh it is.
You're taxing us something fierce. It's good that we only have an hour or so to go.
Yes. Bjorn, can you please assemble the crew? About
He
15
nods.
minutes.
All right. Do you want me to just give you the Afro synopsis of everybody? Would that be
I mean,
maybe the easiest way to do it?
I'm super down with it.
Okay.
Yep.
I know in in Skull and Shackles, they straight up did like an interview panel for every crew member.
Yeah,
And it was a
that was
lot
my
it was a
plan.
lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, but and they're very happy with their crew. But they did not have the benefit of a pseudo psychic person on the team. So all right, Theodosia Sly Webb is the lookout. This is what you know about her. I guess I could throw up their tokens when we're talking about them. She is a half elf. Her job is lookout. She considers herself, and a lot of people consider her to be a bad bitch. So basically, like any big booty white girl rapper, that's kind of where she's trying to keep her wheelhouse, sort of thing.
Is she fancy?
Yeah, she absolutely and completely hates Garuda. She will kill Garuda if the opportunity presents itself. Um, that's how much she hates him. That being said, she is a favorite among the remaining crew for her rowdy and gaudy sense of humor, her easy going nature and sexual demeanor, and her skills, because she is a expert marksman and sharpshooter, and a very good lookout.
I don't think we need her.
All
You
right.
just the trouble is that that would create discontent with the crew. So do you want to dump the basic crew and keep?
All right. Next
Yeah.
up is Dallin the Hero Thorn. He is called the Hero because the ship was attacked by creatures known as, gosh, I'm trying to remember what they were called. Hold on. I want to give you guys the actual name of them. Scrags. There we go. The ship was attacked by Scrags, which are aquatic trolls, and he lost his eye in the fight against the Scrags, but managed to save the captain's life in the process. The captain, so pleased with him at his valiant and chivalrous rescue, took him to her cabin that night and rewarded him personally, both with gold and other means. Teased mercilessly for his heroics, he earned the moniker the Hero. He is a half orc, which is cool because even though he's a basic fish NPC, if he gets dropped, he can live with 1 HP till he gets dropped again. He has dark vision, which is also useful. He is tough, cautious, and attentive. He is sad about what happened to Captain Sigma. He's definitely a Captain Sigma loyalist, but he is also a Dallin the Hero Thorn loyalist first and foremost. He is not willing to risk his life to stand up for the captain in this regard. So he is okay with whatever business opportunity presents itself, as long as he doesn't end up in jail for it. So that's Dallin the Hero Thorn.
Okay.
Next up, you've got Handsome Aaron over here. Handsome Aaron is a Chondathan human. He is quiet, thoughtful, and polite. He is very much I couldn't find work in the city, so I went down to the docks to find work, and somehow I ended up a pirate. So he is just pretty much your everyday basic bitch man turned pirate, and he tries to work hard and do his job. He doesn't really put a lot of thought into things. He's just like waiting to get paid so he can spend that pay so that he can get broke enough to justify continuing to be a pirate. So pretty vanilla as far as that goes.
Okay.
Okay. You got Amy Mary Zindo. She is called Mary because she generally is a pretty optimistic lady with a positive attitude. She has seen some real shit. She has served under Captain Sigma since the earliest days, when they were all kicking around Schult. She does not like the cold of the north, but in Schult, there is a lot of slave trade that goes around. So like the slavery angle didn't really bother her too much. The people of Schult worship trickster, like native trickster gods, things like that. So she's, devil worship, demon worship doesn't really seem that big a deal. Basically, she is an opportunistic person who doesn't let alignments and religious beliefs and doctrines get in the way of getting work done, living your life, and making a profit. So that's Amy Mary Zindo. Now, her long-standing relationship with the captain might lead you to think that she is going to do something crazy to save the captain, but she definitely has a pragmatic viewpoint of, when you're done, you're done. When you've invested, you've invested, kind of thing. Bloody Bjorn, you've already kind of done your check on him. Merrick Wildsteel. Merrick Wildsteel is extremely upset that his brother, who was a Thunder Twin, was killed. He definitely carries a grudge against you guys for killing his brother and then letting the lizard folk eat his brother's body. He would rather go to prison when you get back to Saltmarsh and pay for his crimes than continue to work with the likes of you. And in a way, it's one of those like criminal who found Jesus kind of things, where he's like, if we hadn't been pirates in the first place, my brother would still be alive, etc., etc., etc. So maybe not a good fit.
What was his mini?
It is this guy right here.
Oh, I liked him. Too bad.
What's a Thunder
He is
Twin?
a very good. He's listed as a swab, but he also has proficiency in shipwright tools and carpentry tools. So he is very skilled. He and his brother were actually the ones who did most of the repairs on the ship.
Yeah, we need a new boss's mate then.
All right. So then we also have let's see, Arvin Voodoo. Where'd you go, Arvin Voodoo? I think he's down below decks. There we go. Arvin Voodoo Argent. He is also from Chult. He also joined up when Amy did. And yeah, he is sort of the Chult version of Handsome Aaron. He is just there to be the best pirate he can be. He doesn't really care who the captain is or what's going on. He just cares about getting shit done. To be honest, he really didn't like working for Yuan-Ti down in Schult. Yuan-Ti kind of represent like the most evil of evil that could be evil. And the people of Schult are not big fans of them. So he's been working for her since the early days, but never really took a shine to doing it. You know what I mean? So he is probably relieved. He is also very superstitious. So he basically believes that whatever gods you serve or whatever gods control the North have seen fit to end Sigma's reign and open up the paths of opportunity to another. So that's sort of what he is with. Easy Juffers is he is from Kalasham. That is, I guess, a red flag in so much as Kalasham is also where the Scarlet Brotherhood is from. But he is called Easy Joffers because he is an extremely easygoing guy. He definitely goes with the flow, helps out where needed. He really never argues with people. He is known to sort of take like a verbal lashing and just sort of stare down whoever's saying it and not retaliate, which eventually makes people not want to bother trying to rile him up. So that's his claim to fame. Salty Pascal. Yeah. So Salty Pascal is a Hiroshimi human. He is into poetry. Uh, he likes art and music. He became a pirate because he grew up on tales of seafaring adventures as a child, and he romanticized it to the point that he wanted to experience it for himself. He views every day at sea as an adventure and is always looking to see what happens next. Let's see. Toothpick Tate, you've already heard about. Geralt the Grudge. Geralt the Grudge is called the Grudge because he's a Tetherian human. He has a very short fuse. So he is quick to anger, he gets pissed off easily, and he holds a grudge easily. Chances are he's super pissed at you guys and will probably do everything he can to subtly sabotage your efforts. And then there is Foul Frithoff, the Aluskan human bosun. She is tough, scarred, and adaptive. She is crushing hard on Alvis, who swam into her life through the bathroom of the ship and just had sort of a balls out confidence that seemed completely unshakable, and that was very hot to her. It doesn't hurt that he is hideously scarred like she is, so she sort of feels sort of a kindred spirit vibe there as well. She definitely seems like she is excited for the next chapter of the Sea Ghosts journey.
So I do believe some of these won't be a good fit.
Yeah.
Now you do have to think about these are fully realized thought constructs, these NPCs. So they do not live inside a bubble. What you do to one will affect all the others. That's the whole point of being a crew. So just kind of keep that in mind.
So
And I feel confident telling you that because you have an inquisitive rogue. So
I feel as though the Lookout and the Grudgy one would not be good fits. Everyone else, I think, can stay.
You think that the one who lost his brother, Merrick?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, no, he should go. Could we put them loose and then arrange for them to be picked up by the city guard?
Ooh, the city guard. I don't much feel like dealing with them, to be honest.
Prime water,
Why don't we
really.
just release them?
I think what we do is we put them in the jolly boat and we let them go. That way the crew doesn't see us as, crazy murderers. Purpose people with honor.
I agree with you with on Mark, and those are to carry as far as how they think. The shootist, she is by our feathery friend, but it is not unlike how I feel about Bloody Bjorn.
Wait, she didn't
Managed.
like me?
And you stole her rifle, and you tried to shoot her in the head.
That was in the
Was there.
past, though. Bygones be bygones. I mean, gosh, she can't hold a grudge forever.
Friend, the Bloody Bjorn character I want to kill as soon as the opportunity presents itself. I know a killer when I see one. You're back, but we would need to find some way of taming her spirits and making her see reason.
Do you have any ideas of how to do that? maybe like a duel or some sorts. Maybe we can. Maybe she wants to have like a competition. That was just we can see who's the better shooter. She won't have her feelings hurt anymore.
Really want to give her a loaded weapon?
Yeah, and I feel like if she lost again, she would be madder.
Unless
Suck it from a woman's mouth.
you challenge her, and you through the competition, made it close. Because you are a excellent shooters, my friend, with the how they say boomsticks. I like that. Perhaps that would salve her honor. That might make her less angry at you.
But we need to have them respect us. We can't have them think that we're weak in any way.
But killing any more of the crew, that will be a problem. I think
Yes.
losing that lookout, that might very well hurt the soul of the remaining people, as it were.
I mean, people who hate each other can still work together.
Yeah, we
It's
don't need.
true, but I don't think Ruda wants to live his life with a gun at his back.
To be completely honest, I'm okay with this. I don't want to. If we need her on board, don't think because she wants to kill me, I am talking about getting her off. I'm okay with having to watch my back for a minute. It wouldn't be the first time I've done it. It won't be the last time I have to do it. So if you guys want to keep her, I'm okay with it. If you want to get rid of her, I'm okay with it too.
I volunteered to be Garuda's bodyguard for the time being, if that is what we decide.
What I'm concerned about, I'm not concerned about her killing him in his sleep, because that would be fairly obvious. What I'm concerned about is if we are in a battle situation and bullets are flying, one might find its way into Garuda's back. Like, these people will not fight for us, and that is what we need.
But you yourself, Afra, said that this Theodosa Slyweb, she is very much liked by the crew. To get rid of her might hurt morale.
They can get over it. They're pirates. Also, I have a raunchy sense of humor and a charisma of 3. I can take her place.
I'm like, I'm the baddest bitch over here. Oh.
I'm not looking for a fight with anyone. I am merely pointing out what you have said, and let us not deny the effectiveness of these boomsticks.
Your point of view is well received. It's always welcome. I do believe it'd be best to keep her.
Well, you won't find me hanging out near Garuda in the fight, then.
Oh, thanks, Afra.
Okay. So what? We take the other 2 then and stick them in a boat?
Their captain, we must also decide what we're gonna do with the captain. The previous captain.
Sure, I figured we'd turn in a reward. Over to Prime Water, of course.
Yes, I do believe that'd be best. Let us have her tied up and put in the room the sea elf was in.
Well, also,
Afra, have you gotten a read on him at all?
Oh, the elf? Actually, no, I'm not. Actually, you don't know that I've spoken with him yet.
Perhaps he'll be the final meeting, and then we'll address the crew.
Found him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I can go have a conversation with our elf friend, see if he has any idea why someone would have wanted to sacrifice the sea elf.
Okay, so you guys want to speak with the sea elf then?
Yes.
Be right back. I gotta go to the
Figure
bathroom
out what
real
we're
quick.
doing with him.
Okay. This guy right here, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Look at that beard. Oof.
All right. So, first and
What is
foremost,
this?
this guy's name is Oceanus,
That is very
which
pretentious.
which is basically like the John of like sea elves. So
It's
yeah,
got this badass name. It's Paul.
yeah. It sounds cool to other culture, but like every other dude's probably named Oceanus. Is what it boils down to. All right. So, man, let's see. Checking my notes to make sure I don't miss anything that that this guy might have for you. All right. Yeah, Oceanus. He does speak the common trade tongue of the surface world. So you could have that conversation with if you'd like. He also speaks Aquan and Elvish.
Hey, hello there, friend. We have a bit of a conundrum. Pirates? Not kidnappers, not slavers. But it leaves us with what do we do with you?
Oh,
What do you suggest?
well, I'm just gonna float this past you. You just drop me off at the next port, and I'll go on and live my life. That sounds fantastic.
Hmm. Could do that. But some of the crew have told us you might be worth a good deal of money.
Ah,
Other
I see.
individuals.
This is what's the land dwelling saying? Out of fire into cooking pot.
Right. Yes, that is it exactly. What we have been told is that there is another sea elf somewhere in the world who, for some reason, might want to sacrifice a member of his brethren in some culty demony thing. Any idea why that would be?
You're gonna have to give me a little bit more. All I had from Sigma. Well, I had some and then some from Sigma. She picked me up at a dockside dive bar. Basically invited me on board her ship. Things were good, and then things were not good because I was waking up in chains in a small room in a ship with yeah, with not even my clothes or a pot to take a shit in. So I would say that things were pretty bad. But it makes sense then, I guess, if I was to be sold as some sort of slave. As far as a sea elf betraying a sea elf, that it doesn't seem very probable. My people, unlike your people, um, tend to gravitate towards a more honorable and noble calling. Um, I mean, I don't want to toot, you know, the conch shell of my people here, but we are sort of the absolute bastions of hope and defenders of light and goodness in the vast, sprawling oceans of Toril. So we don't really have time for self treachery when we're, fighting off ancient evils and all sorts of other nastiness.
No.
But if you're convinced that there is, in fact, a sea elf trying to buy other sea elves, I think it's probably a Malenti.
What? Sorry.
Malenti. He kind of eyes you. You don't spend a lot of time on the water or under the waves, I'm assuming.
No, can't say that we do.
So
Can you
there's
check
this
that out?
there's this race of horrible, hideous creatures called the Sahaugen.
We've heard of them.
Right. Well, it's not very well known, but among the Sahaugen there is a curse wherein 1 in every 1,000 of their spawn is born in the body/appearance of a sea elf. Obviously, their people hate our people, so this doesn't go well for the children that are born like that. In ages past, those children were, of course, gobbled up or sacrificed to their dark god. But nowadays, they have come to learn the value of such a cursed individual. They use them as agents, spies, both against my people, which you could probably understand would cause a lot of confusion and suspicion. Um, and I've heard stories of people accused of being Malenti and having their entire lives ruined because of the accusations, which only later, sometimes too late, turned out to be false. But also against the surface world as well, because how would you guys know that a sea elf is not really a sea elf? So probably, or I mean, there are some bad clams, sometimes. So maybe there's a sea elf gone bad, and they're selling out their own people. I I really hope that's not the case, though.
Check this one.
And Afra, your general feeling is that this guy has sort of a Captain America complex going on. Like he really does think that he and his race are essentially superheroes. Like they are the best. They are the things that you land dwellers, you're like stupid children that don't know how bad the world could be, and it's a good thing the sea elves are there to keep you safe from the underwater nightmares that you aren't even aware of. Is definitely the vibe that kind of comes off of this guy.
Does he have the best ass of Saltmarsh?
It's pretty good. It's definitely pretty good. Guy does a lot of swimming.
Oceanus, if he is familiar with the name Malvus, if that means anything to him.
Malvos. I mean, it's a sea elf name. So why? What's a Malvos?
Does that name mean anything to you? Would the sea elf by the name of Malvus want you dead for any reason?
I don't think so.
I mean, not you specifically, but just in general.
No, I don't know any Malvoses personally. I know individuals with that name. Were they also a sea elf that was taken? Is that the sea elf that's trying to buy people?
It is potentially the sea elf who counts your worth at 1,000 gold pieces.
Oh, I am incredibly flattered that my life is worth 1,000 gold pieces.
So if you would like to keep it, come up with a similar value for us.
Wow. Well, it's a little out of your way, but if you'd like to return me to my people, I'm sure that they would pay some sort of money for my return. Though I'm sure they would not forget the slight against them and probably mark you as their enemies for the audacity of taking a guardian of the waves as a hostage at some strange ransom.
To
But
be quite honest, I'm not really interested in making money off of you. I'm more interested in what you can provide. Do you have skills?
I am decent with a trident. I also know a lot about the undersea world that I don't think any of you do know.
That's very true. Um,
And I can talk to fish.
so the Sahaugen are an enemy of your people?
They are an enemy to all people, but they do consider my people to be their greatest enemy. Let me put it this way. The Sahaugen are so evil, so horrible, so reviled amongst the sentient beings and beasts of the undersea realm that there is a race of vampiric manta ray demons that hate the Sahaugen.
Did you just say vampire manta rays?
I did say vampire manta rays. That's correct.
Do you think you could work up a ship? Aid the crew?
I have worked a ship before. And he kind of blushes a little bit. I have been found guilty on several occasions of what my countrymen might call slumming it. I have a sick fascination with the surface world and the scaleless men and women who inhabit it.
See, I'm quite interested in you and what you know and what you have to provide. Um, we did save your life. Slavery is not really something I'm interested in. And Jenna looks around the room for anyone to, if anyone is going to be like, well, maybe we should be slavers. But if not,
Okay. He is definitely going to do an insight check on the room. So if you would like to roll a deception check to sort of keep your essential self a secret or project a certain thing, let me know.
a fucking 9.
All right. Apparently, your thirst is so great that it is making it difficult for you to hide anything from this guy.
Is there any point?
All right, Afra. Man, maybe this guy should have put on some clothes. I don't know. I don't know where Afra's at on the spectrum. I think she's more into ladies, but he's a fine specimen, and he's very distracting. Also, his sense of self-worth is a little off-putting, maybe even disgusting. I don't know. But yeah, you guys are kind of an open book to this dude who is narrowing his eyes a bit, and he says, I'm willing to work on the ship. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I want to live, first and foremost, but I would sooner die than deliver a great evil upon innocence. So if you put me in a situation where my own moral values are going to be compromised, I would die and meet the gods with a clean soul, then bloody it in whatever foul business you try to force me into. If you can accept that I will work with you and alongside you in a capacity that you see fit and that I can live with, then I am willing to work towards my freedom. Surface dwellers get paid like a gold a day for their services. Experts get paid 5 gold a day. 5 gold goes into what, 1,000? I don't know, 200 times or something. How about I serve your cause for 200 days, and then you release me?
Isn't that
And
acceptable?
perhaps during that time, you come to see things differently.
God, he's gonna moralize. He's gonna preach at us.
That is 100% what you got from that. Yes. He definitely thinks that through example, he will show you the virtues of goodness and righteousness. That
Keep
said,
him-
he doesn't
Keep him
radiate
up.
a vibe of law. He's not radiating a vibe of like lawful stupid good. But he's definitely a person, again, Captain America style, that definitely has some core values, and those core values definitely align to the more traditional sense of good and evil.
Oh, give us PSAs every time we go into battle.
I mean, you might be wandering the
leader.
ship, and Jenna might find a magical spell scroll and excitedly open it, and it'll say, "Disappointed? You shouldn't be. You found something greater than that. The power of friendship and the path to a good life." And then it'll have
Okay, maybe we can do that.
I mean,
His knowledge of the seas could be valuable.
Plus, we can use him for dealing with the shark people.
yes, I mostly just want him to meet with the lizard folk princess and hear his opinion on their issues with the Sahaugen.
That would be perfectly acceptable.
200 days sounds like slave labor to me. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel.
I mean, well, he said he's like translating it to
Indentured-
payment, so
It is. It's indentured servitude. He is working off his debt to us.
Yeah.
We essentially bought him 4,000 gold pieces. Now he must work that off, and then he's free.
Very well. So be it. Welcome aboard.
He nods and gives you guys a smile. All right, then what's my job? Pretty familiar with ships. There's rope guy, and there's sail guy, lookout
Know
guy.
anything about fixing them?
We'll work that out with Bloody Bjorn.
Oh, fixing them. That would be hammer guy.
How about you just be smart guy and stay out of the way?
I like that. I will be smart guy who stays out of the way. Alrighty. So, anything else you need to do as you guys are approaching Saltmarsh?
yeah, we should probably come up with a plan. So are we just like taking this ship into Saltmarsh to port, or like?
Yeah, were we?
I mean, that was the instructions that were given, right? Like Alvis. I mean,
Yeah.
when I checked it with Alvis, he was definitely headed towards
Saltmarsh? Yeah. Like, we
But
got,
you guys had also mentioned you didn't want to go into Saltmarsh carrying the goods that you were carrying.
yeah.
Yes.
Do we have like a story or something, or should I fly to Saltmarsh first and get what you call it? What's the dude's name? And get him to come to meet us, or do we have which is the best
That's
way?
actually a good idea.
Okay. Do you want to fly on ahead then and make people aware that you're coming? Like, is that the plan?
Captain, is that a good plan, or you have something better, or?
I have this random aerial encounters die ready to roll.
Please
Here we
stop.
go.
Please stop, Crash.
It's
Garuda,
only a
you
1 in 12 chance. Only a 1 in 12 chance. You'll be fine. You'll be
You-
fine.
crash into a seagull. You killed a seagull.
Yeah, let's,
Only like
I'm fine
4
with the
different
plan.
varieties of dragons live on the coast, so you should be good.
Let's, send Garuda ahead, speak with, let Prime Water know that we've secured the ship and we're coming aboard.
That there may be some contraband and his people shouldn't look too hard.
Okay. Um.
I
Yeah. So,
mean, do we want to inform Prime Water of the contraband?
Yeah, at this point, it's about 6 in the morning. It's about 6 in
Help
the
us
morning.
fence it all.
Well, also, I was thinking more in the lines of him telling the customs people not to look too hard.
Yeah.
Yes, so that seems fine. Let's have Gruta be off and let's address the crew
okay.
before pulling on in.
And So Jenna gave me the what you call it, the fanny pack of holding crash. So I'm gonna stuff my rifle in there,
Okay.
but I'll keep the pistols like hidden underneath my plume, my feathers, and then I'll fly off.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
Lost its connection.
Yeah,
So
ditto.
you're gonna head back to town. The rest of you are gonna kind of finish up business on the ship.
Oh, Guru, before you go, can I get those extra crossbow bolts off you too?
Oh yeah, there, I give you 20 extra crossbow bolts. And do you want my crossbow too?
Regular crossbow.
Oh,
It's
let's
a hand crossbow and a light crossbow.
Sure, I'll take them.
All right. Yep. And they're yours, homie.
Thank you, much.
All right. So you head off towards the shore. Yeah, I mean, you're flying. Nothing this early in the morning, this transitional time between night and day, seems to take notice of you.
Oh, thank God.
Nor do you see anything extraordinary. Just the occasional seabirds, that sort of thing. You arrive back at the town. Uh, you do attract some attention as you kind of fly in, because bird person. It's exciting. And yeah, the people of Saltmarsh, again, oh, look at that, it's a flying man. But for the most part, they're living their lives and doing their business. Um, Today is very, very rainy, I believe. Let me double check.
Yeah.
No, actually, today is the 27th. So, yeah, today is steady rainfall with a slight overcast gray sky and a light southern breeze. Okay. So, you arrive back in the town of Saltmarsh. You kind of land, the rain is all around you. What do you do?
Head over to Prime Mortis.
All right, you head over to Prime Water Manor. Okay. You head to Prime Water Manor. There are guards posted out front. The guards have guard drakes with them, which I think you guys have seen before. Yeah, these big boys right here. And they see you approach, and they you're probably the only Arakra or Era Kakra, excuse me, in Saltmarsh. So they by now your reputation is starting to kind of build, so they recognize you. They nod and they go to fetch Prime Order. And the one guard says, it's good you came early. He's got meetings all morning, so um, he told me to have you come in.
Well, that's good.
All right. Are you led into the house?
Yeah, can I roll for insight first on this guard to see, like, is he
Yeah, sure.
Prime Order guard or the town's guard? I guess to be more
Oh
specific.
no, he's definitely Prime Order.
Yeah, he's like wearing like their uniform and shit like that.
Yeah, he's got like that brown and blue sort of thing going on. All right.
Uh,
Yeah. These guys, they think that you are fascinating, because you are a bird dude. And they are sad that it is raining and they have to stand out in the rain all day. That's pretty much what you pick up on your insight.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I headed to the house.
All right. A elderly gnome greets you on the inside. Let me move everybody back, I guess, to the dashboard for now. There we go. All right. And let's see. This and hmm. All right. So you're back in town. You're led inside, and there is a elderly gnome. She looks like that.
That's Angela Lansbury.
I don't know this name. I know that this is a elderly gnome who works at the Prime Water Mansion. But if you think it looks like, what'd you say, Jessica Goodberry? I guess that's your business. Um, and she says, "Oh, dearie, you're all wet." And she begins to prestidigitate, to try to clean up some of the mud and that sort of thing. And she gives you like a towel, kind of towel off with. Just water everywhere. You've been flying in the rain for like the last hour. Um, you're you're gonna catch the master right at the end of breakfast. He and the missus said that they'll make a bit of time to speak with you.
Well, thank you. That's very kind.
Oh, yes, of course. This way, this way. And she leads you into the dining area. Again, this is a huge dining room. Could accommodate many, many, many people. It is just two people there. Prime Water, who I don't know. There we go. And Mrs. Prime Water.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
Yeah. So as you step into the room, you can see that their plates are empty, and they are finishing up their keef or whatever, their Forgotten Realms coffee, keef, and they look over at you, and Prime Water's eyes glint with undisguised excitement, but also you can tell that he is nervous because it is just you.
Okay, just based off memory, what I remember is this like a safe place to talk, or do I need to like speak in code?
It's a safe place to talk.
Okay, cool. Um, oh, hi, Mr. Prime Rider. I was sent by Jenna to come talk to you, and everything is good. We have the ship. We're bringing it back to Saltmarsh because it was badly damaged. But the issue is that there's some goods on there that we probably don't want customs to see if we coming into port. So we're wondering if you can help us out with that.
Ah, yeah. Okay. I follow you. I follow you. Sorry, for the moment I thought that you were coming to tell me that you were the sole survivor and it went really poorly. So
Oh no,
that is
we
that is
did
a
have a
good that
death.
is yeah, that is a relief. That is a relief.
Oh,
Um so what, you just need me to go down or send someone down to the docks, tell them that when what's the condition of the ship?
utterly fucked, but
Okay, okay.
it can be
Is the
repaired.
ship, will you be flying colors? Does the ship still bear its name? Like how much of a cover up do we need to do? Because
Uh,
I don't think that we want to be affiliated with the Sea Ghost, do we?
no, but I'm pretty sure the crew is smart enough not to bring it to port with the Seagulls
Unless
Signia and
we're spinning
everything.
the angle here that I hired you all to go and defeat some pirates, and you successfully took their ship in the process.
I think
I
the
mean,
thing is
that
that
seems
we
like,
want to keep the ship though for
of
ourselves.
course.
So I don't think that angle will work. I just think they're gonna pull it into port with no not flying the Ghost Signias, and they're just gonna try to use regular sails or whatnot.
Sure. Now, it
Um,
does occur to you, Shipwright, that it does say boldly, because Captain Sigmund was a bad bitch. It does say Sea Ghost on both sides of the prow of the ship.
uh,
Yeah.
well there's that then. Oh, yeah, I guess
So, I mean,
we
how do you propose we spin this?
that,
I mean, I have my own ideas, but I'm curious what you have to say.
well I guess like you said we took over a pirate ship.
Hmm.
That will work.
Mrs. Primewater is just staring at you vacantly.
Isn't she like a future teller or a divination or something?
She is
I bet.
something, all right.
Um, yeah, that'll work then. Well, I guess also their captain, we captured her, and do you want her?
Yeah, his eyes kind of alight at that one. Oh, uh, that could be useful. Um, yes, yes. I would prefer we keep her capture a secret.
So
We don't need, yeah. I don't know if we need to hand her over to the guard at this juncture.
fair enough then, Mr. Primewater. So
She could have many secrets.
definitely could. From what I hear, she likes to get around. So
And we could dig deep and find those secrets. And he looks to her and he smiles and he says, yes, dear, we definitely could.
can I roll insight on Miss Primewater? Is that like a
Yeah, sure.
sexual innuendo or
Yeah,
what
sure.
was that?
Yeah, she is referring to torture.
ah
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm happy I'm not her. Um, yeah. Also, Primewater, the crew, we're thinking about keeping them on. So some of them at least, maybe even majority of them, but we will need a few more people to run the ship effectively. But I think Jenna and Afro will want to talk to you more about that to work out the finer details.
Yeah, Lady Primewater looks at you meaningfully, Gruda, and she says, it's not uncommon for some people to cry at a birthday party.
And the circle has no beginning.
She nods at you sagely, and you see a smile at the corner of Primewater's mouth as that exchange takes place.
Sorry, that's sweet crazy. Okay, so should I just go down to the dock then, and your man will meet me there, or
She says to you, good luck in the north. You will need it.
I'm rolling insight right now.
Okay. Yeah. If you didn't know any better, you would say that this woman knows that you have business north of here, irrefutably, unerringly knows that you have business north of here.
Like with the lizard folk, that's up north and now.
I mean, it hits hard, but she didn't say anything specific. She just said, "Good luck with your work in the north."
Oh, I look at her for a second, for 2 seconds, for three.
Okay.
You know. Yeah. So should I just go to the port or? I hear guys gonna
says,
follow me there.
yeah. Prime Water says, yeah, actually, I'll take care of business here. You fly back to your allies, and do be watchful. It is mating season for the wyverns.
Huh.
I can't help but admire your courage to fly alone in these dangerous times.
So, okay. I look over at Mrs. Water. You got anything for that one?
She looks at you and she says, uh, "Every bird has a wishbone. When two opposing forces pull, the bone snaps, and whoever fate deems the greatest gets their wish. But no one ever wonders what the bird wished for."
Okay. Well, bye.
All right.
And
All right.
yeah, I
So you
start
head
to
on
head
out.
back. Yeah.
And as you head for the door, Prime Water says, "And after we get everything sorted, I look forward to meeting with everyone to discuss whatever's happening in the north."
Uh, yeah, yeah. So just double checking. The plan is that we're just gonna pull in, and your guys will be there waiting for us, correct?
You can be assured, my avian friend, that I will take care of everything.
I'm gonna roll insight one more time.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, daddy's gonna provide. That's definitely what you got out of that one. So you feel very much at ease that he is going to take care of everything.
Okay. Well, look at him for a second,
All right.
for 2 seconds, for 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Okay. Well, then bye. Now,
All right.
go ahead, fly off.
Okay. Let's see how your return goes. Here we go.
Yeah, I guess
One
so.
in 12 chance.
Kind of fly lower now that Prime Water is like warning me about wyvern mating season. Like I want to fly lower to the ground. Just
Okay. So you make your way out. Um, nothing too interesting. You do see a family of sea otters. That's kind of exciting. I don't know if you want to go interact with them or not. Delay your mission.
Nah, I'm more of
No.
just
Okay.
one track mind.
All right. So you
Thinking
make it back
about
to the
my
ship. You
wishbone.
inform everybody of what's going on.
Yeah, you know,
Wishbone still intact.
thank God. And I explained about Prime Water's wife. Like, she said, "Good luck in the north. We'll probably need it." I know what she meant, but
Yeah, she cried.
Yeah, Jenna's immediately like, yeah, that bitch is just crazy.
okay, yeah, I'm glad everyone else knows this. That was
Well,
just
I
me for a
kind of
second.
like her.
Have you met her, Elvis?
No,
Or
but
you
she
just like the
sounds
sound of
awesome.
her?
I think, to be fair, Aldous would find any woman attractive.
As long as they're interesting.
All right.
Jenna looks at Elvis and he's like, I do believe you two are cut from the same cloth. The crazy cloth. She doesn't say the crazy cloth. Just-
It sort of just hangs in the air, implied. Got it.
Always just grins.
All right.
did he
So,
say to remove the name of the ship on the
Um,
bow?
he pretty much just said that he would take care of everything.
yeah.
Sounds easy enough. Let us address the crew and make our way in.
Okay. The crew sort of feels they can abandon their posts for a couple of minutes. But the rain is going to make visibility an issue. So they are a bit concerned about that. But yeah, what is your quick you know um, speech, I guess, to them before you reach the shore.
Sparring follow up to.
Well, she welcomes everyone on board. Welcome aboard, all. Jimmy Pepper. I know that this ship's under new management, obviously. I do believe, speaking with the remaining leadership on board and some of the crew, I do believe many of you will be quite a comfortable fit. We look to be doing similar work, though avoiding the devil worship and slave trade. It is my utmost mission to make everyone on board here rich, riches beyond their wildest dreams.
Okay,
And
okay.
if
Question before
any,
you roll. Persuasion check. Question before you roll. Did you already lower the dwarf and the grudge into the
no,
jolly
not no. She was about to
Oh, okay.
explain that. We understand the situation you are all in, and it's not an easy one. We do believe a few of you will not be a good fit, but do keep in mind that we aren't the murdering type, unless it's real profitable. Um, and then she calls forward the Grudge and Merrick.
Okay. Everybody kind of takes a deep breath as you do, like an episode of any cooking show.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do
They don't know
believe.
if these people are going to be eliminated or if they're going to be told they did an amazing job or both at the same time. So they kind of watch with interest.
Yeah, and as they come forward, Jenna eyes them narrowingly, and she's
Okay.
just like, "We don't believe you two would be the best of fit, but as I said, we don't murder for nothing. Um, you two will take the jolly boat, and your lives are in your hand. Make any move against us, and you will pay the price.
Okay.
Until then, you're free to go."
They both kind of stare daggers at you, and the rest of the crew, and the rest of the crew kind of shrugs. And Theodosa kind of calls down. Oh wait, I'm sorry. She got kicked out of the. Well, I think you would probably want to look out while Berto was gone. So I guess from there, she'll call down and be like, that's tough. It's tough. It's hard not being a good fit. But think of it this way, fellas. I mean, she's giving you your own fucking jolly boat. That's pretty good. Better than being shark bait or turned in to the guards. And the two of them look up at her, and one of them gives her the finger, and she lets out sort of a cackling laugh. And that's when Bjorn says, "Captain, if we're already headed to Saltmarsh anyways, why not just cut them loose when we get to shore? That way we get to keep our jolly boat."
New jolly boat can be purchased. This is how
Mm.
things will be done.
All right. Well then, fellas, it's been an honor to sail with you. I have to say you've received quite a bit more compensation than Snake Eyes would have given you had she taken a ship you was aboard. So you may want to remember that mercy and kindness as you make your way to any port but Saltmarsh. Savvy? And the two of them look at him, and he looks at the two of them, and they both kind of nod. All right. So the jolly boat is lowered down. They hop in, and they start rowing / sailing away in the pounding rain.
Um, yes, and to all of you, if you have any concerns, please bring it up with Afra. If something requires my attention, so be it. We have an employer in Saltmarsh. And like I said, we're all gonna get very rich.
All right,
And
give me a persuasion check to represent sort of projecting your voice, making sure that everybody could hear you, tone of what you said, all that
Oh,
jazz.
that feels
with
bad.
advantage.
I would say that the assistance of the more compliant crew members and mm, the fact that you spared these guys' lives, uh, probably, yeah, I would say advantage.
Mm.
So it would go over. It would go over well. They definitely lowers the heart rate of these people as you are approaching um, shore. Now they've heard the "we're gonna get rich, richer than you could ever imagine" many times. That is sort
Oh,
of
I'm
the
sure.
yeah, that's sort of the stand. Yeah, that's the standard. Like our company has benefits. But yeah, they think they are inspired by the confidence with which you delivered those promises, if that makes sense.
Great.
So, all right. All right, so that's that. You guys arrive in port. It is about 8 in the morning by the time you pull into port. There was, delays. The ship was moving slow as you made up your minds. Blah 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 blah. You had to wait for Berto to get in, meet with him, come back, all that jazz. So you arrive. The front of your ship emblazoned with lime green font that reads "The Sea Ghost" and a huge gaping hole in the side of it. Try as you might, it does attract quite a bit of attention as you come into the port of call. Um, However, uh, you find a spot where there is room to dock your ship, and you see you see standing on the shore is an uh, let's see. Yeah, there is an elegant gentleman who seems to be holding a teacup and is sipping from it. And he is sort of looking out at the water and at you guys. And as he sees the ship, he raises a white handkerchief and waves it above his head. You guys who have met this person before recognize it as an individual who goes by the name of the Goblet.
Oh,
Alvis like turns to Jenny. He's like, "Am I putting into the dock next to this one?"
yes. That is part of our
Okay.
plan.
Isn't that the
Looks a
dude
little
from
looks a little namby-pamby, but okay, whatever you say, Captain.
Of course. Jenna's like wheels are turning in her head. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so now we know that Prime Water's in with the Zentrum.
Yeah. I guess we're all me, you, Afro, are all looking at each other like, what the fuck? This.
All right, so as you guys pull into port, you can see some money exchanging hands between Teacup Guy and the port master of port. And yeah, like everything seems pretty kosher. Nobody comes up to inspect your ship. Whatever paperwork needed to be handled was handled. You tie off the ship, you put down the gangplank, and you are back on land-ish. You're on some docks. Uh, the man uh, looks at all of you, uh, doesn't seem to recognize anybody, and he says, "Hail and well met. Um you could call me Parsons. Uh, I'm here on behalf of and he has like a little book, Mr. Prime Water. Um, this is the Sea Ghost, I take it?
That it is. Uh, well met, sir.
Uh, who might be the captain that I might speak with them a bit further?
It is I, sir.
All right. He eyes you and says, so young to be a captain. Uh, y- if you don't mind my saying, where exactly did you come into this skill set, Miss?
Lowthorn.
Ah, interesting. Very interesting. He extends his arm in the forearm shake of the Sword Coast.
He gets the forearm shake back.
All right. Yes. I'm Mr. Perry, though most simply call me Parsons, since that is my name. I'm a broker of sorts here in Saltmarsh. It's good to make your acquaintance. I understand then that you are in the employ of Mr. Primewater and have escorted the latest addition to his fleet to our fine harbor. That's excellent news. I was told to give you this in exchange for your services, and he hands you a small pouch that obviously contains coins. 500 gold pieces, and he would like to meet with you at his estate later this evening, say around 7:30.
Very well. We
Hmm.
will be there. Did he request an audience with all of us?
I believe he did.
I'm
I
shaking
would
my
not
head
say
up and
your
down.
entire crew, but certainly it was two very capable women and their close associates.
Very well. Um, we will be there. Uh, on time, of course.
Of course. Do you know where the residence is? I could happily provide instructions.
I do believe we do. He
Hmm.
is our employer, of course.
A word of warning. Saltmarsh is a beautiful town full of friendly people, but there can occasionally be misdeeds done within its streets. Why, just a few days ago, a serial killer was revealed who was hunting on innocent women.
Oh, was he?
Yes, you want to be extremely careful with what you do. You wouldn't want to get wrapped up in something like that. Now, would you?
Of course.
Hmm. Well, I have a lot more to do on this fine rainy day. And it does occur to you that dude's drinking tea in the rain, so he's kind of drinking like rainwater. Um, but somehow, despite the cold rain, his little cup does have like warm steam coming off of it.
Can can I insight the whole part of him pretending not to know me? Like just
Yeah,
Sure, if you,
I was gonna
yeah,
ask that question. Like, oh, it's gonna
if
like
you'd
this.
like.
16.
Okay. Yeah, Garuda, maybe he's got like dementia or something. Um, I don't know. But let's see. Jenna with a 16. He definitely is n- trying to seem like he has no idea who you are. So
But he knows,
he also
obviously.
is very subtly telling you to not get mixed up in a murder investigation. You sloppy bitch. He kind of
That's
yeah.
fair. That's
Okay.
fair. It was my first murder, okay? She
Okay.
says it loud. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I know why he doesn't have water in his teacup because he has an umbrella. There we go. That seems like that would definitely fit with this character. He's definitely an umbrella type guy. Yeah.
Catch up.
Yep. So he sort of walks off and he says, one last thing. Prime Water has asked that the ship be emptied of crew. He will be sending his own personal team to begin repairs on it.
Empty of crew.
Aye.
Oh,
Guards will be placed to keep the ship safe, obviously, but he doesn't want anyone in the way.
Will nod.
I mean, obviously, I will leave some hands on board. I cannot completely leave the crew the ship unmanned.
Then I would recommend leaving only the most trustworthy or expendable individuals you have.
So Alvis?
You're not expendable. I'm just kidding. We all are.
I'm also not sure he's trustworthy.
And you do kind of hear sort of the rumble of thunder kind of picking up in the distance as well. It's going to be another stormy day.
The big thing is that like we still got shit on the ship, like the ingots and like things on the ship.
The guy sort of cocks his head a bit, and he says, "Surely you're not implying that a Mr. Prime Water would steal something?"
Of course not. I do apologize for my friend. He's a bird person and
Why
not
not take your
well-versed.
reward money and treat yourselves, as the halflings like to say, and enjoy what you can of this sodden day?
Very well. Thank you, sir.
Madam. And he kind of starts walking away. And he does have those Renaissance era like heeled boots, so they do a little bit of clack clack on the docks as he walks away. I mean, not like Witcher girl like heeled boots. I mean, but like more heel than combat boots. Though that would be hilarious if you had the Witcher boots on. So, all right. So what now, guys? You're back at Saltmarsh. You got like 10 hours or so.
There, but I would like to go fetch Willie.
All right.
At some point.
Yeah,
Alvis
just chilling in the waters / sea caves.
Alvis goes up to Jenna and he's like, "Can't help but notice we just been paid."
That we have.
Jenna, with your big brain, you do know that the initial thing with this absolutely insane individual was that he was hooked up with you guys by Kreb Shanker at the Empty Net. You guys hired him on a mercenary status, like you will receive shares, blah 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 blah. So this is probably where he's headed with this.
Yeah. Jenna gives him 100 gold out of the pouch, and he's like,
"It's all in
there will be
platinum,
more.
so it'll be 10 platinum pieces."
Okay, yeah. So it's 500 gold total in the coin pouch.
Yep.
Okay.
500 in platinum, so 50 platinum pieces.
Yep. Yeah. She hands him 10 platinum, and she does the same with Petro.
Okay.
So he looks down at it,
Mm-hmm.
Puts it in his pouch, looks up and goes, "And for the last 2 jobs?"
It will come. Unless you want Electrum ingots, I must ask you be a bit more patient.
Oh, yes, patience is worth more than Electrum. Fool's gold, that is.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. There is a sudden flash of light and a loud explosion of sound
Fuck.
Alvis, you take 143 points of damage. You are struck by lightning.
What?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Now hold on, Crash.
Hey,
Hold
are you
on, Crash.
serious?
Dexterity save.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
It was close. It was definitely close.
Yeah. So I imagine Alvis flies. I don't know, backwards.
Yeah, there's just sort of a ka-choom sound as you guys are all blinded for a second, and his body just kind of rockets / ragdolls across the docks, slams into a dock post, wraps around it a bit with some crunching sounds, and then splashes into the water.
So like he dead there, right?
Fuck.
So he like dead there.
I mean,
Can take his
You-
100 gold, maybe go pay somebody to raise dead on him.
I'm sorry, guys, but I was rolling on the official second edition Thunderstorm table. I honor the dice as they fall.
Could somebody get me out of the water? Oh, actually, well, I can breathe there, but yeah, I'm
You killed outright. Like
Yeah, like, he's like dead there.
Yeah, Val Frithhoff like cries out when she sees this happen, and the rest of the crew does the Faerun equivalent of crossing themselves. So some of them immediately start tossing personal wealth into the ocean in case that was the bitch queen Umberlee's doing. Some of them look towards the hilltop cathedral / temple of Valkyr, and they kind of bow to one knee and put their fist to their forehead. But yeah, they're just like, what the hell?
Did you roll like a 1 on a D1000? Like
So, yeah. Yeah.
Are we-
I'm gonna look
Yeah.
over at Pietro, who is clearly the strongest of us, and be like, can
like I'm luggage.
Hey, Pietro's still.
And people have kind of looked over in the direction because that was a close lightning bolt. Obviously, there's like a scorch mark on the docks where it hit. Those of you that were near, like Jenna, your hair, the rain is kind of pushing it back down, but temporarily it did like that huge like electricity afro from like the lightning and everything.
Look-
Yeah, like
luckily no one saw it because of my hat.
Now,
yeah.
keep in mind he's got loot on him that you just gave him.
Pedro, please retrieve him.
Okay, Pietro sort of does the whole cartoon double take shake head thing, and then
Right.
says, "Okay." So I'm gonna Pietro is take his rope out. He's gonna tie it to the dock and tie the other end around his waist and kind of rappel over the side to go
Okay.
get Elvis's body.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And he's doing that. He's gonna sort of mumble to himself, "I hope this is not a common occurrence."
all right. Yeah, his body is lightning scarred up from the point of impact. It seems to have hit him right around the left shoulder where the neck meets the shoulder. And the skin there is horribly burnt in weird jagged striations. As you go to grab him, you notice perhaps for the first time that he has gills of a sort. And in the water, they are just feebly kind of pumping water through them. He is still alive.
Well, that's good.
As I notice this, as Pietro notices, he shouts up to the others, "I think he's alive! Someone get a healer!" And I'm gonna grab him and start pulling myself and Elvis back up to the docks.
All right.
I'm gonna
Jenna's
roll my-
gonna
I'm a healer. Hey, Since I got this weird coin thing. Still don't know what's up with that.
Not for sarcasm.
Can you really heal him? I have this medicine kit.
Oh yeah. Wait.
Okay. As you go to call upon these new powers of healing, there's a part of you that's like, is this really an appropriate use of holy light?
Wait, what?
Damn, shade sent to Alvis.
This fallen monstrosity really worth our time and resources?
He may be a monstrosity, but he's our goddamn monstrosity.
So that's just sort of a feeling you had when you went to call upon this power. Yeah. So Alvis, your eyes open. Your body feels horrible and numb. Like all of your limbs are asleep. Is sort of that feeling, like just pins and needles everywhere.
Alvis has the biggest shit-eating grin on his face, and he looks like if he had two eyes, they would both be wide. But as it is, he's only got the one eye wide, and he looks absolutely rapturous right now.
Dang.
Like the greatest thing in the world just happened.
Seeing that this happened right in front of them, the crew, who again, pirates are very superstitious, they begin to cheer uproariously because holy shit, the new management strong enough to get struck by lightning. Yeah, and so they definitely are like impressed, slightly confused by what has happened, and immediately are speculating as to what actually has happened here.
Same. I want to know.
You know, I feel like at this point we would all surround Alvis with like the crossed arms, frowny face. What the fuck?
Can I roll insight perception to try to figure out if this was a god, random luck, or
Okay.
Alvis getting a new superpower or some shit? Like,
It's definitely some meta insight. But you've lived a long time. You lived a long time, Garuda, for by bird standards, I suppose. And as a race of flyers, getting struck by lightning is something that does happen. And you know your uncle, he died to a lightning strike because he thought it was cool to fly around and try to ruin every outdoor encounter for his DM. And eventually and so it is, yeah, it is something that does happen. You yourself, though, have never witnessed it before, this close. And you have heard that particularly stalwart individuals can survive, but what you saw, you don't think most people, and especially not Alvis, could have walked away from, which does raise some questions about what happened. You feel that magic is probably involved, arcane or divine, unsure.
Okay.
So Alvis is like, yeah, just got this great big beaming smile. He reaches like to his belt, opens his flask real quick as if to take a celebratory drink, but his flask is empty and charred and has holes in it, so it's filled with like seawater at this point. Kind of scowls and he just looks at everybody expectantly, like for someone to hand him a drink.
No, not yet. What happened?
I mean,
Did you
Jenna
not
would,
see?
if you asked for a drink, Jenna would give you a drink.
If
And stop her. No. What happened? Then drink.
well, you saw, right? She kissed me. She kissed me. He's
Who
like,
gives-
he's like rapturous right now.
Pills?
Who is she?
Adri Iphigenia, goddess of the skies. You see, after decades of feeling alone, she's made it known. She's with me. That was the kiss of the goddess.
it was definitely something magical that happened, but pretty sure he pissed someone off more than a kiss. But
Oh, he looks at Garua. I could see how that would seem the case for your people, but my people, we call upon the lightning. It is
Your
our
people?
aye. Those among us who are closest to the goddess, we are storm callers. And at this, like, Alvis actually kind of falters for a second, and like actually kind of looks a little dismayed, and he goes, "Oi, I suppose I cannot be a storm caller.
Seems
Storm
like you're a
chaser, then."
storm taker, storm receiver.
storm bottom.
Oh,
That gets a chuckle out of Oceanus for sure.
he
Though to be fair, in Elvis's case, it would be a storm power bottom.
he nods, like you just said something truly wise. Ah, yes, yes.
All right.
Like,
Bloody Bjorn says, Captain, now that we've witnessed a fucking miracle, permission to go ashore until further notice.
um, permission granted. And she's gonna hand. You said a daily wage is like a gold a day.
So basic bitch like swabs, like would get like a gold a day. Like officers are gonna easily want 5 gold or more a day. So anybody that has skills generally likes to get 5 gold or more. Whereas like drive-through clerks and the equivalent like minimum wage type deal get like a gold a day.
Okay. Let me see if we have the gold to do what I want to do. And also, just so you guys are okay with it, I'm gonna just like give each of them like some gold to go party. You know?
Oh, okay.
Reasonable.
If you like can make a point to the female, the Iggy Azalea want to be that she shouldn't try to fuck with us or me specifically. And you like make that pass to her, Jenna, I'd be appreciated. So like I'm like giving you an eye as she comes for her go, just making that know.
Definitely. I think all our gold is tied up in Electrum. One moment. I'm looking for the links.
Hey, I have 30 gold I can spare for the party.
Oh no, we have 667 gold pieces. Okay. Yeah, so she's gonna give 5 gold to all of the basic bitches
Oh
and
wow.
10 gold to the officers to go ease their nerves and everything.
5 gold each and then 10 gold each to the officers. All right. Yeah, they are down for
Oh,
that.
wow.
We got like not that many people, so it's actually quite affordable.
All
Who's
right.
the officers?
I'm guessing Bloody Bjorn, Toothpick Tate, and Bad Bitch.
Foul for Thoth.
Oh, bad bitch is an officer.
No, Theodosa Sly is technically not an officer, despite being way more skilled than everybody else at her rank. Probably she's never advanced further than she is because she's got such a bad attitude.
Mm. Okay, yeah. Then yeah, so Foul, Frithiof, Bloody Bjorn, and Toothpick Tate. She'll give 10, and the rest she'll give 5.
Okay. What about Sea Elf? Is he allowed off the? Well, I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
think. Is he under basic crew?
Right now, yeah,
Okay.
he gets 5. And I asked Bloody Bjorn to keep an eye on him.
All right.
you should give him 1 gold and tell him that 4 will come off his debt.
If he proposed that, then yeah, that'd be fine. But if he doesn't propose it, then she's just gonna treat him like everyone else.
All right. No, he is. Despite the Captain America exterior, he likes to get rowdy in port. So you would definitely like some rowdy boy money.
Yeah, and we'll hold them all up. We'll tell him to go to That great establishment we all love. uh,
The empty
uh,
net.
the empty net.
What a treat. What a treat. Okay, so they all head out.
And honestly, I think we'll go to the. Like, I don't have
Alright.
any plans, so I'd
She
go to
looks
the
back
empty
and
net as
gives
well.
gives Alvis a meaningful look of concern and respect.
Alvis will just like grin widely and kind of gesture to his still twitching body. And he, when everything works, lass, we'll have some drinks.
Oh wow. She blushes and calls you a baka and continues on her way. Yeah.
And Crash, I requested access to the crew document.
Oh, yeah.
Edited.
So, with all this being struck by lightning, how are we dealing with this? I don't think we can necessarily all go see our benefactor.
I mean, we're gonna
I
just
mean,
take you to the
there's
empty
only
net.
5 of you, right?
There's only 5
Yeah.
of us, so.
Yeah.
We're gonna take you to the empty net and get you to meet your fine physician. You know, the one that you have quite a rapport with, and get you
I do
stitched up.
keep ending up back there with in need of aid. Yep.
All
Yeah,
right. So at this point, then, are you all going to the empty net until you figure out your next move?
Yeah, that's where I was planning on heading.
Okay.
In that case, I'm going to pick up Alvis and sort of fireman carry him.
Jenna's. Go ahead. Go ahead.
As I'm doing that, I say, home again, home again.
Alvis like takes being carried in this manner just like in stride and just like continually looks to the sky.
yeah,
And
I'm looking to the
at one
sky
point,
too. Like, make sure
well,
the
at one
light ain't
point
coming
he
for us, dude.
at one point he even says to Pietro like, "Oh, wonder if she'll kiss me again."
Yeah, you, Garuda, you're definitely haunted by the memory of your dead uncle with that lightning. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely like, I won't be flying anytime soon this way now. I'm just gonna stay in my
All
little
right.
talons on the ground.
So you guys head on over to the
Well,
empty net. Yeah.
Jenna was gonna go and make sure all of the chests are locked, and she was gonna ask Aphra and Garuda to go and exchange that electrum and the electrum ingots into gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The 500 gold in electrum could definitely be exchanged.
What are we doing with the lizard folk? Are we sending them to?
Yeah, that's awkward.
We're bringing them to the empty net, of course. They are our guests.
Wow. Okay.
I smell a bar fight.
Prime Water didn't want anyone on board, so
That's
Yeah.
exciting. So not to get like super racist with it, but the people of Saltmarsh feel about the lizard folk the way that like colonial Americans felt about Native Americans.
Oh,
So
they
like
helped
look
them
at
survive the
look at
winter.
these curious savages. Like they're dangerous, but maybe we can exploit them. Yeah, so and the lizard folk on their part look at the humans in a way like, look at these dangerous foods. Like, yeah, that's the kind of food that could raise an army and kill you if you're not careful. But man, that just makes them more delicious. Yeah, so to say that there are racial tensions between the races is an understatement. There are occasionally lizard folk who take up the life of adventuring and things like that, but it is, I mean, they are considered cannibals and primal savages by most of the Sword Coast. So they're tolerated until until they provide a reason not to be, but then people are very quick to persecute if they step out of line. So just going to keep that in mind.
Okay.
All right.
I don't see what else, unless anyone else has a better suggestion.
Leave them on the ship.
I mean, we could send them. I feel like they wouldn't go without the guns.
Yeah, I got what you're going. Yeah, I feel the same way. So, I'd empty that. Fuck it. Let them
All right.
drink there.
And you explain to the lizard folk that you must abandon the whale construct so that it can be healed, and then you will be able to finish the journey back to their homeland. Is that the basic understanding?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Asking them to do their best to try not to. She doesn't want to be rude. Like she doesn't want to say like don't cause any trouble, but she just basically like tells them to like be wary and mindful of the other soft skins.
Gotcha. All right. So you head on over. You leave the docks district, and you head on over to the empty net. All right. So, yeah, at the empty net, Kreb is nowhere to be seen. The kid Tyweir is there, and he is running things. There are not nearly as many NPCs as there appear to be because they have jobs and stuff. So let me move some of them. Yeah, let me move some of them out of here. All right. But yeah, your crew immediately just takes over the establishment. They have been at sea for a while, at least a week or so, and so they are tearing into it. They are ordering food. They are ordering rum. They are getting rowdy. It's not even 9:30 in the morning. All right, what do you guys need from the empty net? You go to exchange the money. So that's a soggy, rainy task. But there is a money changer um, that works out of the city hall, which is across from the market. So you go and you do that. What else? Oh, you do notice that the business that was being built across the street from the empty net has a sign. The sign is finished, and the place seems to be open for business.
What is it?
That is location 7, which I believe is uh, Faithful Quartermasters of Joaquim.
Isn't that where like me and Vess saw like the creepy girl? Isn't it?
Uh, with the horns and stuff?
Yeah, not for sure.
Yeah,
Remember we saw like
maybe?
yeah, vaguely.
Somebody peeking at you from inside the windows?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. That is the building. It does seem to be open for business now.
Do by the name of it, is it easy to like surmise what type of business they are?
Give me a religion check.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to see if they would know about this.
I
I
got
would also
14.
accept a history check or both. It's up to you. You know quite a bit about Joaquim for reasons, I guess. But to kind of give you a little bit more information, Joaquim is the goddess of commerce. She is known as the Coin Maiden, Our Lady of Gold, the Merchant's Friend, the Golden Lady, and Liberty's Maiden. She is she is the goddess of commerce. So her priest, her priest basically work as brokers, which is to say they broker business deals. Usually, because of their skill set and their magic, this involves magical items. So they are usually magic item brokers. So, something you would know with a 20 plus is that they are not just legal trade people. Like they are also or Joachim is also the patron deity of smugglers who fences, black marketeers, and shady businessmen. So Joachim is an unaligned deity. Um, she is equal opportunity. Anybody who commits any sort of trade of coin and commerce and goods is her portfolio.
Excellent.
Yeah. And history, yes, Garuda, you do recall that the Quartermasters of Joaquin is a guild that is owned by the church. And basically, in areas that the church views to be potentially profitable, they will set up a agent or an outpost with an agent of the faith, and that person will buy and sell magical items to, of course, the profit of the church. They do provide identification services, that sort of thing. And for a hefty sum, can even help you with curses if you have gotten cursed by magical items. And they can even headhunt magical items. So if you have certain items that you are looking for, they can contact their vast network and try and track that item down for you, obviously with an associated price tag.
Yes, I'll relay that to you
Yes,
guys.
we'd like 5 Amulet of Health, please.
Yeah, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? I think that sets you back like 10K a piece. So you're almost there.
Oof, close.
Yeah. But it is something to think about. So there's that finally open up in the store. I know that feels very like Final Fantasy game where it's like you go to this cool looking store and it's like we're just not ready yet, kind of deal.
It's so.
Yeah, but that's how it is. It is now open for business. It was not initially open for business at the beginning of the campaign. So, but it's one of the more video gamey aspects of Forgotten Realms is essentially magic item brokerage. So, for Critical Role fans, this would be, I guess, the Pumat soul of this campaign would be this setup right here. Alrighty. We're at time and we're kind of in like a transitional state right here. So I think this might be a good place to call it for the week. You have you've transferred your coins from Electrum bars into gold. So you have another 500 gold on top of the 500 gold that you already had. You have a happy crew so far. You have the crew document. Now, when it comes to filling the crew, there's generally 3 ways you could do it. One, you try to recruit yourself. So you go out and you actually role play and you find people and you add to your crew. Or you adventure, and as you find people, you're like, you should join our crew and stuff like that. That's slow, obviously, but can be pretty interesting. Then there's the fast and dirty way. That is where you basically send somebody down to Crabber's Cove, which is like the crime alley of Saltmarsh. There you go. And you say, we're trying to fill up spots on our ship. And you just get like the worst bottom of the barrel garbage that's available. And they work for 1 gold a day. And you hope that everything is okay. And you think to yourself, they'll probably all get killed by monsters anyways. So why bother investing in something good? Or the third way is you contact the Mariners Guild Hall about actually hiring good, legitimate crew and people that have received training and certifications and like actually have experience and all that stuff. Every time I added a new word, the $sign went a little bit like ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching kind of thing. Now there is a 4th option. You just let Prime Water handle it and trust whoever he hires and crews your ship with. So something to think about, something that you might even just bring up with him when you meet with him next session.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
Okey-doke.
Okay. Yeah, nice job, guys. You guys worked through that crew delegation way faster than the other group. Let me just put that out there. Yeah. So
I mean, did they have the whole crew though alive?
no, they actually killed way more people than you did.
Oh,
Oh, wait, really? I thought like they
I
did
thought
it perfectly.
Oh, I
manuals
mean,
or,
it was perfect. But they're pretty bloodthirsty, so they took out quite a few. And the wizard actually they did such a good job that the wizard didn't join the fight. She actually just got the hell out of there. She abandoned ship. So so they didn't have the wizard at all. Um, so yeah, but no, you guys did the interview stuff and all that. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I think there's a lot of moving parts. If there wasn't already a lot of moving parts, there's now a lot of moving parts that you guys will have to decide what you want to do next, sort of thing. Um, but yeah, very very cool. Glad to have you guys back at Saltmarsh. Now you officially have a ship. You have a crew. All that goodness. So just keep in mind with the um gosh, what am I thinking about here? Oh, with the crew for your ship, I do believe you're gonna need 20 people to crew the ship. What Skull and Shackles does is they always over crew because people die. And also because the party will leave the ship sometimes to do stuff, and they want to have basically backup people to cover their jobs if they are not on the ship. So I don't know how many people you intend to hire, but that might be something to discuss as well. So quality of hiring, how many people you want to hire, really start kind of digging into that aspect. But keep in mind that the ship does need to be repaired, which is going to take a couple of days. Which in D&D terms could, unless you take some downtime, could be several sessions. So it's really just up to you what you decide to do um, as we move forward. All right.
okay. I do want to ask, like,
Yeah.
life expectancy of crew members.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like, oh, if someone cast a fireball on your ship, your whole crew's dead type of thing?
No. You might lose a couple of people. Basically, if the ship itself as an entity is taking damage, because keep in mind your ship has its own little character sheet and stuff.
Uh,
And so ship combat will often be like the ships will be the miniatures, and the camera will be zoomed out so that the ships appear like the size of like miniatures, and you move them around and you fight each other. It's only when the two ships get close enough to board each other that we zoom in the camera and we switch back to individuals fighting and all that jazz. But from a distance, yeah, you couldn't just throw a fireball at a rival ship and like, ta-da, we killed everybody on the ship, or that would be super lame. Is that what would happen in according to the basic rules? Absolutely, but that's why we have different rules to handle nautical stuff, so that it makes a little bit more sense, or I
cool.
guess less sense. I don't know. So it's more fun, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The same reason that you can no longer just cast like control water and have a 45% chance of sinking a ship. Because like, why would anybody ever use a ship ever if like a fourth level spell could sink it, kind of thing. So the creation of ships in Forgotten Realms, part of the cost of the ship is that they build them around needing to defend themselves against sea monsters, magical weather, magicians, tempest priests. Like again, Forgotten Realms, they've got running water and toilets in Waterdeep, and they've got an island full of steampunk dudes to the south. They have more technology than like medieval Europe. You know what I mean? So it's very much like a pseudo Renaissance high magic setting. So they have things in place to make sure that the things they do make sense. So that includes making sure that they build ships in such a way that the ships can actually function. Because why why would you build a ship if it could just be sunk like the first time you take it out of the harbor kind
Yeah.
of deal, right? So it's a hard thing to kind of come to grips with, because like fifth edition D&D, it's very much just like well, this is this and this is that and this is how the rules would work and that would happen. And if you start to think about stuff too much, the whole thing falls apart. So there is a certain suspension of disbelief where you have to be like, oh, fantasy ships, they're strong because fantasy. Yeah, so there is a little bit of that. And the more successful ships have received like enchantments that protect them against stuff and make them stronger, and there's all that that comes into play as well. So
should
a
probably
very
look into
big
that.
answer for a question that's just like, will fireballs kill our entire crew? But it kind of extends, to cover that as well.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, cool guys. Hope you enjoy your weekend. I'm going to go try and convince Roll20 that it's not illegal for me to link to something that people can download for free. But I think the argument they're making is that the drive-through RPG wants people to still go to their website to get the product, even though the product is free. So I have to go and fix all that stuff for my Greek game or whatever. I sort of like directly linked to the download instead of linking to the site that could link to the download. So, anywho, all right, I'll catch up with you guys later, and I hope you have a great week.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Later.
All right, later.
Yeah.
Thanks.